Let's see what happens right now. Hopefully to the moon and beyond. What say 112?
Before we go by CompuCare team, Andre is a member of our production crew. The assassino, as Sharif likes to mention, in case you didn't know, but now you know. And
that's your boy Joey Options. And everybody let Joseph know. I accept cash.
Oh,
I accept e-transfer.
It's going that
credit
way now.
card payments.
Oh my
Venmo.
days.
Cash App. What else? What
PayPal.
else other transfer methods are there? Katina,
Zelle.
Zelle.
Pay.
I accept them all, but they better be here, Joseph.
Oh, I told this guy. Now
we're having good times.
Go, go, go. Ooh, screen, screen, screen. Now, we need to clip this. We need to clip this. I need this clip. I need a YouTube short. I don't ask for much, just a YouTube short. Your boy caught the all-time high break here in Bitcoin. We're in this. We're doing it live. I've been in this trade since I don't even know what time. A minute after the open, I heard Katina Man's like, oh, I was going to be patient this morning. I'm in something at 9:31. I'm like, I'm in something at 9:31 too. What am I doing? I'm doing this. I'm doing it live. I'm trading Bitcoin. I don't even really know what to say. We've been expecting this. How long ago have I said that we are going to get that all-time high break? This is the move. We cracked that downtrend, and your boy has been in it since 9:30.
Bro, all those profits that you just made right there, they're all going to come to me.
Ooh.
All that money you just made there, you're going to have to pay to me on the days subsequent to my birthday.
No,
we're taking out all-time highs, Joseph, 109,344. The all-time high, 109,455. We're a measly.
It is in your
measly.
It is in your best interest now that we do not. Or sorry, that we do break that 125 because at 11:59,
yes, sir,
your DMs are going to be exploded from your boy.
I'm going to get an extension. I'm giving myself an extension.
I will say happy birthday. I will start off with happy birthday, but it's going to be immediately followed by where is my money?
I'm giving myself an extension.
Where is it?
I'm giving myself an extension till next Friday. This thing can break it. This thing can break it. Let's go, Bitcoin.
That's insane. This is insane.
Bro, hold on,
I love it. Hold on.
You got to change the rules midway. Remember that pricing thing that we did?
Yeah.
Where that guy let you know that if it was lower, you'd be paying me more, or you know what I mean? I'm giving myself an extension.
Okay, no, listen. I'm a fair businessman. You want an extension, but if that extension fails, how am I going to benefit from
So
that?
how did I benefit from the other change?
Because if you want,
I was losing out. I was going to get more money.
No.
Yes, that's why we changed it. Yes, it is. I'm giving myself an extension.
If anything, I had the short end of the stick, right?
You did.
We need to pull this screen up here, guys. We're just absolutely roaring right now. I'm on the 3 minute. I can't even put it on a 1 minute time frame. Let's break it down here, guys. We're talking a lot. This is great stuff. Skull, Other Zinc, everybody in the chat. Kalua, I'm glad seeing you back in there. Christopher Jones.
New high, Joseph.
Let's go.
New high. We have a brand new high on Bitcoin. All-time high, baby. Spin that money, bro.
Why is it on Sharif? Yeah, there we go. Money, 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 money. Let's go. This is what we wanted, man. I mean, yeah, you know what kind of day we had yesterday, and we come back. This is what shooters do. We shoot, man. We shoot. Hopefully I didn't get myself all out there. No, I didn't. All right, let's go. Let's break it down here, guys, from the get-go. He doesn't even know what to do. They're filming stuff live. This is crazy. Listen, look at this. 9:31. We're in it. We're doing it live. I'm still in this trade, and I will be for the rest of the day. Let's go. 9:31. Add some more, Sharif. And then we double up that position, monstrous size, catching another big-time breakout here.
Big time.
Welcome to Trader TV Live. We're doing it live, and we continue to do it all the time, guys. Let's go.
Fantastic trade, Joe. Pumped for you, bro. This fantastic look on your part. That's a hell of a... Show him the ads, though.
Show him, the ads. Let's zoom in on the ads here.
Assassino there if we can.
Yeah, look at the ads.
An aggressive ad
Boom. I'm like, okay,
there.
yeah, we're strong here. Okay, we're really strong. We're holding some key levels. We're really strong. Let me get some more in there, and then we add one more final time right there, guys, for that breakout. Monster stuff. The hottest YouTube short coming out to you guys momentarily. That Bitcoin breakout. Now Ramin's asking for her mic back, and that is it.
All right, guys, we're involved. So, yeah, obviously, welcome everybody. Great day to be with you on a Bitcoin all-time high break, $109,544.75. You better count that last penny, baby. We're on our way to 110,000, and we haven't even gotten the crypto legislation yet. Shout out to Senator Loomis. We love you on this side of the desk, baby. We're going to see 125,000, hopefully by May 25th, so I can be a little bit richer and a little bit more happy, and I don't have to pay somebody out on my birthday, which is the bet, in case you guys are wondering why we're all amped up. Joseph and I got into a bit of a bet. What are we doing? Are we making more all-time highs?
It's not even that. Now the video's running. We still have some.
I love it all. I love it all, bro. I love it all, man.
Let's go.
I love it all, man.
I don't even know what we're going to do when all four of us are together. This is going to be insane. Probably the greatest show, trading show there has ever lived, and it's not going anywhere.
I just feel bad for all the shorts and all the people who didn't buy. This thing is going to zero, guys. It's not worth anything. Tell them about it, Adara.
Guys, about Kraft Heinz, if I may. KHC getting a little bit of a bump here from lows. Seeing this report, apparently Berkshire Hathaway potentially lining up to buy some of Kraft Heinz spun off assets. KHC reacting. We'll take a look at Berk B, which likely isn't. Again, this is just a report. It's not confirmed. Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway not doing much. I also want to let you guys know here, I want to shout out our friend Michael Saylor. I made this infographic a while ago. This is just the Bitcoin price at closing of the day in thousands alongside Michael Saylor's purchases. I'm sure Michael Saylor is having a great day, so congrats to Michael Saylor and all the Bitcoin holders and hodlers out there as BTC celebrates a new all-time high. Congrats, Sharif, in advance on winning that bet. Back to you.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Adara just basically, she called it right there.
It's for the W.
Hopefully, Joseph. Hopefully, let's not jinx it.
Adara.
Oh.
Okay, no. I'm a betting man.
Hold on.
I'm a betting man.
Oh, she's come in.
Adara, are you ready for this?
What am I ready for?
Or we're putting a bet on right now.
Why?
You're on Sharif's side. Listen, a booster juice. I take a mango hurricane. You're right.
Don't get goaded into it, Adara.
I will get
Don't get goaded into it, Adara.
Whatever booster you want in it. But if I'm right, I would just like a mango hurricane.
Don't get goaded into it, Adara.
I'm not taking a bet on a bet. That's ridiculous. I watched The Big Short last weekend, and they literally have a whole thing on that, and that's like a metaphor for how people got messed up in the housing market, so I'm okay. Thank you.
Shut the door, Adara. Shut the door, Adara. There it is.
Oh,
all right, we're having a great time, guys. I hope you guys are having a good time with us. Welcome to the show. This is the midday show, baby, where we do some small cap trading, we do some Bitcoin trading, some large cap trading, and we talk up a storm about the topics of the day. Lots to talk about today's show. Joseph, show him that front double bicep, baby. Joseph feeling himself today, and he should be, man.
Yeah, you got a super chat there for you there, my guy. A birthday one coming in
Mateus,
already.
my man, Mateus Lane, Sharif. For us, Gemini B-Day boys, May 23rd. Get it, my man. You are a fellow Cuspian like myself. We happen to be what's called the cusp of energy into that 10 to 3rd. So I was adding aggressively there. We've got shares on this one, so hopefully we'll get some more prints to the high side. Let's go ahead and set up in the 80s, and I'm going to layer my orders into the mid to high 80s as well as the 90s. Let's see if this one can weasel its way into that high day. That happens to be $11.02. It's a good look for it on the day. Let me give you the information on it as we go, because we know this is very technically dependent. It is not a small cap gapper. My mistake. It's about a $3 billion market cap with about 42.7 million shares traded on the day, and I actually don't have a float on it, so let me double check here with my trade idea. So I'm getting 492 million. That may or may not be accurate. That comes vis-a-vis trade ideas. And the earnings date was today. So this is an earnings winner from the morning. WRD, good look. It's called We Ride Incorporated. up bigly here. It did momentarily breach the 10 exponential moving average on the 5, which had me a little bit worried, but I was quite impressed with the kind of bottoming tail candles or candles of indecision that it printed over here. Boom, Joseph, right up again, taking out all my orders. Now we got 55s on. Let's wet the beak again. We got shares on this one. Let's see which way the cookie crumbles here, looking for that 11-2, or it can take.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, guys, this is what we got going on. I don't have much. I'll be frank with you. I only have 4% of the position left, but I just left that for a runner. I was talking to Sharif before the show started. I said, yeah, I'm just holding this size for that all-time high break and a move into that all-time high. We are pulling back now pretty aggressively, but I mean, we caught that move. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. You see what we had of a day yesterday. I was grinding, just chipping away. As my poker players would like to say, a chip in a chair is all you need sometimes. And that's what we were sitting on yesterday. But today, we went to bed nice and early, even though Milo did wake me up 3 in the morning. I was like, all right, we're going to be well rested and just come in full prepared to see what Bitcoin is up to. And I seen that it was strong over the overnight. So I'm like, all right, let's get this ball rolling here. And maybe if we can get that moving. And that's exactly what we did. I mean, we are rejecting that level pretty aggressively right now. But when you have analysts saying 500,000 there, 250,000 there, by 250,000 by the end of the year, 500,000 by 2028, it's just like, how could you not want to buy this name? And just to go to another name, I know Katina Man's in this trade, and that's NVDA, right? How long have I been talking about this Saudi deal? I don't know why it's not being talked about more, to be honest with you, or maybe I'm just kind of over amplifying it. I don't know which one it is, but I just think this deal is so massive and it's such a positive catalyst for this stock. And how could you just not want to grab it, especially when you're dealing with the Gulf? We know what those countries are like. They're just absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion. And now that you have them starting to participate in the AI boom, well, what else could you ask?
Oh, Joseph, they've been dying, but your friend Joe Biden wouldn't let them. Right?
So now it's like, okay, let's grab this stuff hand over fist. 1 million of these chips a year. We're starting with 18,000 of them right off the bat. We're going to start this mega, the Gigafactory.
That's just man. UAE, hundreds of thousands. Remember that company, what was it called? G42? G42, that's an Emirati company from the United Arab Emirates. They're buying hundreds of thousands.
I mean, it's like, and it's a 5-year deal. So they're going like 1 million of these chips for the next 5 years.
And your friend Elon yesterday with David Faber on CNBS, what did he say? He's buying hundreds of thousands. You're seeing that in the price action today, Joseph.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like it couldn't have been said any better, guys. Yeah, guys. If there's issues, just kind of refresh, right? Try a refresh, see what that's going on. I know that you're lagging. We do have Bell Canada issues on this side as well, too, guys. Yeah. So just kind of flickering. See, if I was working for Bell still, I'd be on my way. Boom, where's the fiber cut? We got to fix that fiber and get those technicians in there. But yeah, I mean, we'll get it all sorted, guys. If you could just refresh, hopefully that works out for you, and we'll get things sorted out.
All right, man. We're doing it live up in this place on WRD. We got 38s on now, and it's printing 72s. I've got a couple of profit takers that have gone unfilled. All of them in the high 80s. So the candle to make a new high there on the 5-minute at 11.10 went to 11.82. I did get filled. Sorry, 10.82. I got filled at 10.82. But we're not really clearing out the highs. Here we go with the 80s again. There's a seller of note at the 10-penny level at 80, so let's see if we can shake them. And then making another attempt into that high day. As I mentioned earlier, that high day is 11.02. But that's not the only small cap gapper that I'm looking at. It may be the one I'm involved in currently, but there's plenty of others with which I am keeping track. MRM. Now, once a bamboozler, always a bamboozler. So be careful with this one.
Offender.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I used to be told that by, yeah, I'll just keep my mouth shut. All right, so here's the deal. This one, 10.35, bamboozled everybody into that $1.84, dropped quick as you freaking like all the way down to $1.50. Here it goes Again, it's breaking out as we speak while we watch it. Here comes that $1.75 with that high of the day being 184. MRM is certainly one to watch. What I feel is operative here is not the, well, the bamboozlement is, of course, important, but what I do like is obvious area support at that $1.50. It held it quite well. In addition to that 150 area hold, we are getting umpteen amount of higher lows. So the trend here, very intact, despite the fact that it retraces aggressively into highs. Keep an eye on that $1.50, very well defended. Keep an eye even more on those higher lows. Adara, what's up?
What's up, Sharif, is we're going to have Donald Trump greeting the President of South Africa very soon at 11:30. They will be greeting each other. Then they're going to be talking this bilateral lunch for about an hour. But at 12:45, that's what we're going to want to watch for. We are by now we're accustomed to these Oval Office bilateral meetings where you have the two leaders talking and Trump's cabinet in the background. We're going to get one of those at 12:45 p.m. So stay tuned. Get ready here for President Trump meeting with the President of South Africa very shortly. Back to you.
Without really getting into too much, because I don't like to get into that kind of stuff, but that's going to be quite a contentious meeting. And if you understand what's happening in the world, you understand why. So we'll have to wait and see how that all works out there. Elon as well, I wanted to tell you, got on to this. Like there was like a Qatar, there was a conference out in Qatar. He remoted in vis-a-vis webcam, and he made very clear that his political ambitions are going to be really toned down. Yeah. He's not going to give any more money. His time in the White House is going to be limited to a couple of days a month max, and he's not really going to be doing all that much activism. Again, is he scaling back here because of what happened with Tesla? Because let me tell you one more thing before you answer that. All the people or the organizations who were attacking Tesla, vandalism, et cetera, he warned them that he's coming after them. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Like,
I bet you somebody in his ear, some people that are meaningful said, you know what, Elon, it's time to scale this back and just focus on Tesla. I like what Mitch from Trade the Pool was saying as well, too. So shout out, Mitch. I never got to have a conversation with you, but I don't know if you're listening, probably not. I agree with you on that fact that he's like, we're going to start scaling back the Tesla and just head right into the world of robotics. And I think that's definitely something along those lines. I mean, we know Elon's slightly overly ambitious at some things. He's saying there's going to be billions of these things. I don't think that every person on the planet is going to be able to afford an Optimus robot. Yeah. That's just as simple as it gets. But you're going to, as it gains popularity, you're going to see a lot of households, especially in North America, start to adapt.
I agree with that, with everything you said there, Joseph. Guys, I realize everybody's complaining about the stream. Look, I want to show you guys, in case you guys don't know, Assassino, if we can hit that live button right there, guys, okay? Sometimes it'll lag, and then it'll like... okay, they're working. I'm just letting them know in case, because I'm running it right here. It looks fine, but there's a lot of people complaining as well. So just hit that live button. Obviously, you can refresh as well. And we got the best production team in the business basically right now working on it. So hopefully we'll have it up quick as you like. We are having some issues today with the internet as a Canada-wide thing. It's nothing to do with us. You can blame the amazing company. Amazing. No better than Bell Canada out there. I don't mean to. Sorry, brother. I know you work for them, but you know I'm loyal to Rogers. Not by choice. Not by design. No, because they dominate the condo.
The maintenance fee. Yeah.
We're being awfully sarcastic today, but we're feeling good. It's a good day today. The weather's crap, but I feel good. Everything.
I was listening to some news. It's the coldest May in Toronto since like 1967. The last time the Leafs won the cup.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there you go. So.
All right, everybody's yelling about Big Bear AI, a name that the Katina man has been involved in for some time. Let's have a look at BBAI, guys. I'm going to take a gander at that. Let's flip to the 5 real quick. Oh, baby. We are on a big boy breakout. Nice flat top break there through 375, 370. It's more like 378. Here we go. We're on our way to $4. I perceive this to be bull flag number 1. Could we be forming, in the process of forming, bull flag number 2 with a 394 high? It's up 10.5%, almost 10 3/4, zigging and zagging there. As I perceive this, as you can probably already see for yourselves. Very, very good respect today with the price action and that green line, that solid green line on your chart. That is the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart. So if you are looking for an entry location for your BBAI, you may want to consider the 10 EMA. And while you have a thought about where you want to get in, we're going to give you some more information with Adair.
Just be aware here, in addition to Donald Trump meeting with the president of South Africa pretty soon, Punchbowl is reporting that Donald Trump is going to be meeting with House Speaker Johnson and the Freedom Caucus at 3 p.m. Eastern. This is very likely not going to have anything to do with the market. We know if there's any meeting where there can't be any Q&A or any journalist presence, we know that this market can move on things that Donald Trump says. Also might be worth watching the DXY. As mentioned earlier, the U.S. dollar has been down amid some uncertainty around this great one big beautiful bill, which is likely what's going to be discussed here. So just be aware, keep an eye on this. 3 p.m. we might get some more talk or more comments potentially from Donald Trump. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adair.
Yeah. I mean, guys, we can pull up my screen here. We're still sitting in this trade. Again, I mentioned I only have 4% left anyway, so we'll just continue to hold on to this for issues today, guys. I mean, it is what it is. Thank you all for joining us. If you can hit that like and subscribe here. There we go, bang.
We're back.
Oh, I can't even hit it there. You have the option to like and subscribe. This trade
now I can't
has
see any
unlimited
of my charts.
upside.
Everything's fine,
I mean, everything is fine. The video is breaking out. Everything is breaking out, and we're having some internet issues. Not necessarily something that we would want to see, but thank you guys for just logging, refreshing, logging out, logging back in, and joining us, because we're here for this Bitcoin day, and we're going to be bringing you coverage throughout the whole session, guys. We got Adara, Satya up there on the big desk, and Sharif and I are going to be bringing you that news throughout the day. So yeah, we're looking forward to this. We're going to continue to trade these big time names. Let's go NVDA. Ozan, what's he saying?
He's rich again.
Oh.
He's probably long Bitcoin.
Is he? Damn, we need some sort of poll up here to see. I don't know, but what would be a good poll that could revolve around Bitcoin or anything like that that can really get the people going?
Yeah. Let's. You guys are great in the chat. Give us some ideas to throw a poll up there.
We'll throw a poll up there.
Yep. Well, it's okay. We already got 1,400 votes as Assassino, so you know we got some votes there.
We got some votes there.
We got 1,400. We haven't even finished half an hour yet, Joseph.
Where's the falafel at?
Ozan always trades Tesla. Well, what's Tesla doing, Ozan? Let's have a gander over here about what the Cybertruck is doing. Your friend
James
Elon
Bond.
there was very, very loquacious. Ooh. Which means talkative, guys. Yesterday on the what's it called? The interview with Dave Faber. Again, he also went on that Qatar or whatever conference and kind of gave them a piece of his mind. He even attacked the moderator a little bit. I'll let you guys watch that. TSLA, nice off the bottom there, 341.5 Ozan. We're still below the pre-market high, and by extension of that, we're below the implied balance high at 347.22. Tesla in a bit of a range, but I can see why you're amped up, Ozan, because this 342 level has been money on Tesla. It was money yesterday at around 3 o'clock. It was money again in the aftermarket. And today, generally, despite the fact that it did breach 342 on a technical basis, you can see that it was quick to retrace above that 342. So I hope you were looking at that level, Ozan, because that level seems to be money over and over and over again. And it's all in my head. You know exactly what we're talking about there, my boy.
Okay, so how's this for the poll? Will Bitcoin close above 110,000 by the end of the midday show? How is that is that too long?
You know what it is? But when we hit these all-time high levels, don't you expect a little bit of a pullback?
Pure profit taking.
Pure profit taking,
pure
right?
profit taking.
So what's the high now, Joseph? $109,745. And don't you dare forget about those 25 cents. That's the all-time high.
We need those.
We need
every penny.
So we're basically $65 off 110,000. I'm more pleased I could not be. I'm obviously not as heavily involved in IBIT as this guy, but I got some shares on. It's not my biggest position, but I'm very happy about it. And if this thing is going to go to $500,000
by 28, dude,
Standard Chartered taking a shot there, huh?
I might be retired by 28, 29 at that point.
Okay, dude, there's plenty of people all around Europe, in Monaco, all these nice places. The crypto millionaires and crypto billionaires, they ain't no better than us.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter in 2030, 2035, 2040, you could be singing a way different tune, man.
Me?
Just like they were in 2015 when everyone was laughing at them, picking it up for $1,200. Those idiots picking it up in Bitcoin for $1,200.
100,000. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, we're having a great time. This thing can obviously rug pull it. I mean, I'm not calling it a house of cards or anything like that, but I mean, we're having fun with it. It's our job to analyze, obviously strategize, and capitalize on you get that, Anthony?
Of course I did, dude.
Shout out AMZN. So, I mean, it's our job to do so.
You got the nod from Neil,
like that one there. AMZN most definitely did, but I mean, it's our job to just cover this, guys. I mean, we can obviously look at everything from a microscope standpoint, but we just have fun with it. It can all come crashing down tomorrow. I mean, it's not. It may not. Obviously, the chances of that are obviously slow, but we're just having fun with it, guys, and we just want to relay that to you. So have fun with it. And that's another thing too. I like what Marcus Reed, somebody, Marcus, anyways, in the chat said, yeah, just be humble. And one thing to note is that some people will be having a bad day, some people will be having a good day.
Always.
So you don't want to rub it in too much. But yeah, we're having fun today.
All right, daily day trade wants me to look at GPUS. Say less, my friend. You do not need to ask me twice to look at a small cap gapper, and that's what we're looking at here on GPUS. All right, so this one basically touches $10, give or take 2 pennies, 9.98 high. Dates up a respectable 92.8%. It didn't respect VWAP. Okay, so I have some issues here wanting to base any of my trades, my entries, my exits, or anything for that matter off the volume weighted average price. It gets into that $10 for whatever reason, finds support at 7.75 or give or take 8. And here we are right back above 9. We're having some issues with 9. Seems like the local area high here about 9.20, but not a bad look nonetheless. So I wouldn't base anything off VWAP. I don't really have a good read, to be quite honest with you, as to what the support level is. Kind of a random area to have support there. So what I'd be doing is I'd be basing it on the prior bar, okay? So what do I mean by that? So if I was looking to get in, what I would be looking at, I'd punch in here at 9.11. Where's my stop go? Well, it goes prior bar low. Prior bar low takes us down to about 8.79, give or take, okay? It's not, you don't have to have it 1 penny right below the prior bar low. The idea is to give it a little bit below that so you can have some room. And the idea behind that is just to follow the trend. Higher highs, higher lows, that's what you're looking for there. I wouldn't base anything off the volume weighted average price. I could consider something off 8. Reason I say 8 is because even though we do breach 8 on this retracement, look where the closing prints are. They're all in and around that $8 area. So GPUS, good look. But it's still below the high of the day right now. The high of the day, as I mentioned, 9.98. But a fantastic one at that. ARQQ, we also had that bad boy on yesterday as well. Now, this one did respect VWAP yesterday, and it respected it again today. Take a gander at the retracement off that $30.66 high into the volume weighted average price in and around 28. You got 1, 2, 3 bar hold at the volume weighted average price only to kind of make a lower low. So we are possibly in a double top situation right now on ARQQ. But if this weasels down into that 28.5, 28 1/3, bet your bottom dollar your boy's going long. Get it, Adara.
I want to mention this market here because I'm seeing a headline, might not be relevant right now, but I think something to be aware of going forward. So about an hour ago, there were some comments coming here from Chancellor Merz of Germany saying, again, this is quite a while ago, or earlier this morning, saying that there are signs the U.S. could be interested in a deal with the EU on tariffs. Well, just now, we're seeing headlines. Apparently, Scott Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary, actually met with Germany's finance minister. So given that we have that headline, plus the comments we had earlier here from Chancellor Merz of Germany suggesting that there could be a potential interest in a tariff deal with the EU, this is certainly on watch. Again, no confirmation yet, just some reports, but worth noting, potentially amidst potential interest in a deal between the EU and U.S. on tariffs, we do have some word that Scott Bessent actually met with Germany's finance minister. So interesting stuff, obviously very much in its infancy, but if I have any more details, I'll let you guys know. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. So got a couple of super chats. I'll cover one. Joseph will cover the other. Thank you very much to Nick Dubb, the OG, $5 super chat, asking about ARM. Great name, obviously. We know what ARM has been doing lately. Let's have it. Whoa, 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 whoa. That is a buy program there. If I've ever seen one on your friend ARM, that's barely got any red candles. Okay, so let's throw in the ticker and do some TA. Your friend Nick Dubb. Can you check out ARM? Very strong, and seems like 165 is next spot on weekly. Love the swing. Congrats, Joe. You're already getting love for your dub there, my man, and as rightfully so.
Who's getting the
Nick Dubb?
My guy, Nick Dubb.
Nick Dubb's giving you love.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, here we go. So 165 seems next on the weekly. Let's flip to the weekly and see what ARM is all about. So, yeah, I could definitely get behind that 165 look, Nick. The reason is I say that is because you clearly see initially when this worked its way up to 165, what it do? It literally just absolutely dropped and then closed about, I don't know, $40 lower. That was well back though. That was in February of 2024. But we obviously cleared 165 in July of 2024, but we've had a lot of issues closing above 165 on the weekly. Take a gander at January onwards. Look at those closing prints. This is the weekly chart on ARM. Sure, you work your way up into 185 and again into 175, but all those closing prints are below 165. Nick, I happen to like that level. I think that makes eminent sense. It clearly shows you know what you're doing there with TA. I like that 165 level, my man. Especially if we encounter a little bit of resistance. But ARM, fantastic look off that, what's it called? Liberation Day low, where we got down to $76. So since that Liberation Day low into the high day today, we're up a light, Joseph, a very light, 81% off that low. So, yeah, good look there. And thanks, Nick, for the super chat.
Yes, absolutely beautiful. Thank you for that super chat. And for the other individual, Alfredo Perez, asking about short-term direction targets for sound. Thanks, we got you covered. So you are safe and sound where we are. That's for sure. You like that one.
That's how it is,
That's how it is. All right, guys. I mean, moving up with the market here, you can see that we're having a pretty strong day. The tech sector is most definitely booming. But I think it's more important. I see that you're saying short-term direction targets. So we're going to zoom out and head into the daily here, guys, and see what we got going on.
Adara?
So, all right, what are we trading at? Something roughly I got to see because I don't know why it does that. All right, so I'll just gauge it like this. So we're trading around $10 right there. We're going to zoom out now and see where that brings us on the daily. Okay, so short-term direction. What we will note, Sharif, I know Sharif will like this here. We're forming these consistent higher lows, right? Baby. Right? And then we also broke this primary downtrend. So there you go, right? Like, let's keep things simple here, guys. I talk about it all the time. I try to keep my TA as simplistic as possible. You can make trading as complicated as you'd like, but you can also make it, you can simplify it as well, too. And that's just kind of what I led in my direction. I don't want too much analysis. I don't want analysis paralysis, too many indicators, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll just do some basic stuff here. You have the trend line, you have the crack of it to the downside, and now you're holding a trend up. If you sit on the opposite side of this trend right here, the secondary trend, then maybe look to get out, but also just be patient and give yourself the ability to get back in, have a defined stop. I mean, it is a cheaper stock, so you can have a really, really wide stop to start. And then when your thesis starts playing out, you can just start adding to the position like I do, right? And then you can just start averaging up, using your unrealized gains to acquire more shares. And that's something that I personally like to do. So yeah, that's the game plan here on SoundHound. Good stuff. What are you shaking your head? What did Spile say?
He's not even in the chat.
Oh.
What is happening here?
Sharif's fourth baby mama. Oh, you never seen that one?
No,
fourth, man.
I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah, well, you got four, man.
I don't know, Neil. I didn't know about him, Neil.
Fourth baby mama.
I didn't know about him, bro.
All right, yeah, but that's what we got going on. There you go. You got four, man.
Four, eh?
Yeah.
I can make some jokes right now, but it might be a little bit
inappropriate.
Yeah, but I got some funny stuff.
Channeling your inner island, your inner island boy there.
What? He's got four babies?
No, I'm like island.
Oh,
okay.
Great show, love you guys. We love you right back at you, brother. What the hell is this, man?
So we got that poll up there, guys. Does BTC hold 110 by the end of midday? I'm voting No, surprisingly. That's crazy, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, Joseph, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. We know what happens when profit taking comes in. You're going to have a pullback. Joseph, what is the most important thing that you would say I would be looking at on the chart of Bitcoin?
The higher lows. I don't know where you operate, my guy.
That's really what it is. To me, there's going to be profit taking no matter what. Let's not get carried away, okay? Not everybody's going to want to hold this forever and ever more. There's a lot of people swinging this. There's a lot of people in it through different methods. But what doesn't change is the price that it seems attractive at. That's the thing, right? And so that attractive price keeps getting higher and higher and higher and higher. That's why I like the higher low situation. Yeah, Buvin, thank you, Buvin. I know about the IPO. Adara's looking into it right now. Sorry? She's good to go. We're sending it to Adara.
All right.
Here's OFAL. This is OFA Group. This is actually a Hong Kong-based architecture services firm. And I want to clarify right now, I've looked across a number of websites. I'm seeing different information for the actual logistics behind the IPO itself in terms of the numbers we're talking. So I was seeing on the Nasdaq website and a couple other services, it looks like the anticipated price was $4.50. Others are saying the anticipated opening price was $4. Either way, we opened at $4. So we opened either slightly below or exactly in line with the expected price. Now, the other thing I'm seeing a lot of inconsistency around is the offering. Some people saying 18 million, some people saying $5 million, some people saying $17 million. Nasdaq website says 17 million. Most other sources say 15 million. So either way, this IPO here, they're offering valued at roughly $15 to $17 million. Now, the amount of shares offered is also, maybe not surprisingly at this point, up for contention. I'm seeing anywhere from 3.38 million shares offered all the way to 3.8 million shares offered. So somewhere between 3.3 and 3.8 million shares offered. Again, I want to clarify the details for this seem to be very fuzzy because every source I check has a different number, but we're all within the same range. We were expecting an opening price between $4 and $4.50, where the offering raised anywhere from $15 to $18 million, and the amount of shares offered ranges from 3.3 to 3.8 million. I apologize for the confusion. There seems to be some confusion here with what the logistics of this IPO actually are. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Adara. There you go, guys. IPOs, you know, if you've got a morning routine, like most of the traders do, I'm going to include this in mine now from now on. I'm going to check every day to see whether there are any pending IPOs, okay? Because we're getting these a lot, Joseph. We've gotten, I think, 3 or 4 in the past 2 weeks or something like that.
I'm waiting for that, like me, I'm waiting for the Discord IPO.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, that's going to be a banger as well. But these IPOs we need to know about. So that's going to be part of my morning routine. Fantastic look. Thank you, Adara, for that amazing information, giving us all the data that we need to know. You need to know what the IPO price is, how much it opened above the IPO price, et cetera, and the amount of shares, the percentage of the company that's going to be publicly traded. For example, ARM, you guys just asked me about that. 10%. Masayoshi Son and SoftBank, 0.90. So you need to know all these different data points to kind of have an idea of how it's going to trade and what to expect. So that's going to be part of my morning routine. Bitcoin is on the way back to 109,000 after selling off aggressively into that 107.5. I don't know if it actually got into 107.5. That looks like a wick candle there. That may be incorrect. Anyway, the position that I'm involved in right now, WRD, coming back into that previous area in between the 10 and the 20 exponential. I still have a few outs on this one, but you bet your bottom dollar not 1 penny of this is going to go against me. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a stop 1 penny higher than where I got in, okay? So, because I'm not going to let any of this go back against me right now. So there we go. We're going to throw that in there. And if it breaks through my my entry, then that's fine there. There's lots that's going, guys. MLGO, micro algo, one that we know very well from trading it previously on the show, had a very tough day yesterday after initially opening or gapping up, I should say, in the pre-market into that $1 2/3, sold off literally all day. Today, trying to recover. It's up above that $1.50. It's making new highs as we speak. Now, it's not giving you the most notional, but it's doing a good amount of volume, and it's $1.50, which means a lot of people can pile a lot of shares into this so you can make money off smaller movements. That is the trick with these these smaller price stocks, especially the ones with a lot of liquidity in them, several 100 million shares on the day, etc. So MLGO could be a good one. I perceive the money fills on MLGO to be at the 20 exponential moving average on the 5. Most retracements do find support at the 10 EMA. The money fills seem to be at the 20. So can definitely be keeping an eye on that. Get it, Joe. MRM as well, another one that's interesting to me because this is a bamboozler in chief, but it gives you predictable higher lows. Just don't be sitting there holding it, waiting for this thing to go parabolic in a straight line. It doesn't do that. It didn't do it at 1035. It didn't do it at 1120, and it certainly didn't do it at 1140. So kind of pick up on the patterns as that this one is giving you right now. MRM is the one I'm talking about. We're going to weasel into that, Joe.
Yes. Let's go.
What are we doing?
Let's go, Pizza Rat.
We're doing it live?
Yeah, my boy Pizza Rat. My guy Skull. Most definitely my boy Mike the Rider. 2NY. Gorev, 1. Los Polios.
Get it, Gorev.
Halar. Other Zinc. Let's go. One day he just tells me to chill. I mean, hey, we're chilling, man. We're having a good time. All right, guys. I mean, we're still in this trade. NVDA, we're still in this swing trade. So we're loving this. We love normal special. We love iBit. We love NVIDIA. This is great times, man. And I think with this kind of exuberance that we're feeling here, maybe it's time to lock in a little bit of profit.
Okay.
But I mean, look at this consolidation phase here on NVDA, and we're still climbing. So you know what I mean? Let's go. I think there's a lot more room for this to run. I'm not going to talk too much about the golf deals and everything. And now it's your time to do the due diligence and look to see if you can find an entry. But I'm most definitely going to add to this. But sorry for that. We're going to go over to Adair there momentarily. We're going to touch on a couple other things.
Get it, Adair.
If I may have another small cap for you, and this one actually just crossed the $1 threshold, so it might even be of greater interest. I know this one has been traded on the midday before and certainly discussed by these small cap and retail traders. It is called LTRY. Lottery.com. They did report earnings earlier today. Smaller losses per share on a year-over-year basis. So they narrowed here their losses per share. They shrunk those losses. Their sales, though, actually dropping on a year-over-year basis. Not a lot of social media attention on this stock, but the company did post a pretty general post on social media about half an hour ago, just talking about their previous acquisition of this company called Spectrum. It's an old piece of news, but either way, LTRY, the company itself, trying to drum up some social media attention here. Keep an eye on this one. No really notable float or short float to be aware of, about 14 million share float. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adair. Yeah. But yeah, guys, I mean, go check your boy out too on X. I'm going to be posting stuff, expected moves, options chain, open interest, etc., and some of our trades. So if you guys don't mind, just give your boy a little follow. And obviously, DM me. I reply to everybody in the DMs. If you have any requests via the options chain or anything along those lines, don't hesitate to message me. And I don't ignore you. I try to get back as soon as I possibly can. Obviously, we're busy with the other things we got to enter. We got to do the show. I got other due diligence as well too that I got to do at home, and I don't go on X or anything on my home computers. Why? Because it's a distraction from the work that I'm doing at home as well too, and I just don't necessarily need that. But I love being here with you guys. So there it is, at tradertv Joseph. Go give your boy a follow, and I'm going to be posting everything from the options chain, expected moves, and most definitely win or lose on our trades here today, guys. But I mean, let's go 136 and change here on the King of all kings. That's Jensen and Company, tapping into 137. With that being said, folks, let's pull up the options chain to see what we are looking at from an open interest standpoint. And and over the past couple of weeks, I know for those who have been following us for a while, I talked about just how some of these contracts are being rolled over into higher strikes. And I think that's something really important. And now we're being displayed exactly what we want to see, essentially, for something that's going to continue to appreciate in price. Literally 3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit less than that, we were worried about high levels of open interest in the teens. Then the following week, it was the mid-20s. And then it started to roll into the 30s, and I'm talking about the largest size from an open interest standpoint. And now look where we have the highest levels of OI on this week's expiration cycle.
Where?
At 140. So that's a 20-point increase in rollovers with higher hedging positions. And this is what you want to look at. This is a solid bullish example of just price appreciation within an underlying asset. And then you're just utilizing the options chain to tell you how and where there is a possible direction in this stock itself. from 116, we would see over 100,000 open contracts. I think it was a 150, and at some point, with a couple of strike prices included, the 116 and the 117 equaled up to over 250,000 of open contracts, and then the following week, 125. Then the following week, 135. And now this week, we're sitting at 102,000 open contracts at that 140 strike. This is such a bullish sign, in my opinion. You want to see this. I'm not going to say it's going to continue in this trajectory, but we're going to continue to monitor it, that's for sure.
I love it, man. I love it. I love the energy today. Guys, couple of new positions. ARQQ, I told you I'd be going long here. If it pulled into the volume-weighted average price, we're long 30s, just went to beak at 45. It's showing me 57s. It hasn't crossed. I'm waiting at 55s, and then I'm waiting at 75. So ARQQ at the volume-weighted average price, possible double top manifested at 30 2/3. We are obviously a little bit lower than that. Volume-weighted average price here, higher than the previous retracement into VWAP, which happened to be about 28 bucks. So waiting for that next fill, not getting it quite yet, showing me 53 now on the ask side of the level 2. So we'll see which way this cookie crumbles. Also, MRM coming in. So another sell-off, another topping till candle manifesting on MRM, coming back, printing yet another higher low, got me involved in this trade. Alas, we're only in partially. I didn't get the other dip trade despite the fact that it dipped down into it. There was no liquidity there. So we just printed at 70s, and now I'm waiting at 74 for the next print, showing me 73 now on the level 2, or the ask side of the level 2. So that's what I'm involved in right now. ARQQ and MRM both. Well, MRM is it's not a small cap gapper. I already made that clear. I thought it was an earnings winner. It's a multi-billion-dollar. No, this is not the one. This is a small cap gapper. $13.43 billion market cap with about 2.9 million share float. Let's check it with trade ideas, make sure it's kosher there. Trade ideas telling me 3.63. What do I got? 2.9, so yeah, a little bit different. Short float on this, 4.19% of whatever, either 2.9 or 3.6 million shares. Not bad, not the best certainly, but certainly not bad there. We can work with that. Not really sure where the shorts are set up. You got to do your TA on the daily to kind of make an educated guess as to where the shorts may be stuck at, or may have positioned into the short. So waiting here on ARQQ as it zigs and zags a little bit with that volume weighted average price. Also GPUS, another name you guys had been asking me about. Do I have that up here? There it is. GPUS at VWAP again. I'm hesitant to want to base anything on VWAP with GPUS because of what it did essentially from, I want to say 1045 to about 1110. There was very little respect for the volume weighted average price there. What we do have on GPUS is higher lows. So the previous area low was that candle at 1055, and that got to as low as the low there, 770. The current previous bar at 1145 got to a low of 823. So we're continuing to put in higher lows on GPUS. So perhaps that could be how we work into the trade, because I feel like volume weighted average price, not the best idea. So I'm going long here on GPUS. Let's see what this one does. We're long at 53s. Let's set up in the high 50s and then mid 60s. See what we can extract off this monster. Where do I get out? Well, prior bar low, simple as that. I told you it was an 823 area low, and that's where I'm going to set up. We're going to go 819, and then we'll give it some room there. So we'll see what we get, and we will not get upset. Shout out to my man Neil on that side of the equation. Boom on ARQQ. Now it's showing me 75s on the level 2. That's exactly where I'm waiting, but we're not going to get the print because we got to cross that 75 on the bid side. Now it's showing me 72s on the bid. Come on now. Come on, Mr. ARQQ. You guys can give me the fill there. 75 on the ask, 72 on the bid. We still don't get the print. We're nicely in the money on this one at 30s. Let's see if we can work our way up a little bit higher to see if we can extract some more profitability on ARQQ. Joseph Wilson.
Yes, sir.
What do you got?
We're just still cooking up here in this trade. Sharif, we're sitting on this. We're maybe add a little bit of size. We got this bullfrog type pattern rolling up here. I can't wait for you to report tomorrow the amount of liquidations that we've had, possibly in Bitcoin.
I can't wait to report myself, my boy, all the shorts that got squeezed. Where are those people telling me demand destruction? Oh, you bought too high. It's all over, bro. Do you know where I bought, man? I bought in the low 90s. Give me a break.
Give me a break here, folks. Yeah, I mean, just on the right side of things, we can go on all day about this stuff, but we're having a great time. NVDA is still climbing. I'm having even a better time now. Sharif's punching keys. Everybody's punching keys. Like, this is what we're here for, man. I mean, every day we can't. I would love to bring this to you guys. Every day, but unfortunately that's just not the reality. But when we do, it's just let's have fun with it. Let's ride. All the traders in the chat, you guys are riding it with us, making history here with you guys. It's a great time, and enjoy it. Whether you're red or green, put everything aside and just enjoy what we got going on, all right? Again, but we have to do it. We put on a straight face. You seen what I was going through yesterday, just chipping away. This was my signal, just chipping away. I didn't have much. I had a chip in a chair, and I'm just like, let's go. Let's see if we can continue this. So whether you're red or green, those green days will come. Even though it seems like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, there is, guys. Don't worry about it. Just keep pushing. Just keep trying. There it is. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's just about how many times you get back up. And then eventually you guys are going to be putting on amazing trades like this. You see, the only reason, I'm gonna get into this now.
Get into it, Joe.
The only reason I have the ability to put on these trades is because of the individuals to the right of me and behind me. That's the only reason. I did some work, but if you don't have that group of people to continue to push you, then you're not going to get into those levels that you want to be.
Bang.
To get to those heights, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that means having to do things you've never done before. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here on a day-to-day basis, is just continuously grow. And I'm happy to see this, but I want to see it from you guys as well, too. So just keep those heads high. You got knocked down today. Well, guess what? We got tomorrow's Thursday, then we got Friday. And then after Friday, guess what? We're right back here on Monday. And we have a whole other week, guys. So don't hold your heads down. Always keep that chin up. Bad day, go for a walk, come back and join us, and we're just going to continue to crush us as a collective unit, guys, because that's what we are here at Trader TV.
That's the way it is, Joe. Yeah, all right, guys, let's talk about these two because they're moving. OFAL is that new IPO that we've got. It looks like it's halted down now at $8.30 after making that new high.
We got a big super, even though it's $2. Look where this show is my community. That's what we are here, man.
We love you, bro. I mean, we wouldn't be here if we didn't like you guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You could just get blocked. Right? Like, if we don't like you, you get blocked. Yeah,
that's the way it is. No, but seriously, OFAL, guys, halted down $8.30, 9.79 high. This thing is on one. It looks like it opened up at $4, give or take, with a low of 380. So this thing has been up and to the right. I'm talking about the one on the top right of your screen there. OFAL halted down, but well above the volume-weighted average price, which looks to be around that $6 area. In addition to that, Big Bear AI. This is a buy program on one right now. Big Bear AI up 16% and getting really extended away from the 10 exponential moving average. The last time it even touched it was 11.10. Joseph, look at that volume profile down there, man.
Oh, whoa.
That's a volume profile.
That's what you want to see as you're starting to appreciate. So another $2 super chat from Rogers Noonan. Thank you. Yeah, just nothing behind that. Just love and agreeing to everything that we have to say here.
We love you, bro.
Yeah, John, we got Monday off, man. A much needed a holiday, I think, but I got to go and get my oil change on my car. So I'm action packed on that.
You're taking your car to get oil changed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope everything is good.
Why?
Oh, well, nothing. You know, just get caught paying $1,000.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were talking about that the other day. Yeah. We don't know that guy really.
No. I have no idea.
You're lucky to. You're lucky to hop out of the mechanics with.
Why is it always got to be $1,000?
It doesn't matter.
Why is it always got to be $1,000?
Man, the myth.
You might want to check your Big Bear AI position there, Katina, man. $4.12.
Ooh, bigly.
Okay, well, I'll tell you where Bitcoin is, Katina, man. 109,100. We hit an all-time high. Were you here when we hit all-time high? 109,745 and 25 cents.
I'm always here.
He's always here. He's always watching, baby.
Sharif, my boy Vlad here, Vlad Tanev here, really just approaching those all-time highs. We're just knocking on the door.
Don't tell Fabian that, bro. Fabian doesn't want Vlad here, bro. He doesn't want Vlad.
Don't fight the Vlad. Don't fight the Vlad.
No. He's a Chilean nightmare. I don't know. The Chilean nightmare beats Vlad.
No. Oh.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Well, I mean,
I'm putting my money behind the Chilean nightmare.
You're putting the money behind the Chilean nightmare. All right, I got him there. 124% from those 29.66 lows there in your boy Robinhood. Palantir.
What?
Robinhood.
Okay.
Bitcoin.
Okay.
Enough said.
We're doing it live on Goopus, guys. We just took out the next little level there. So GPUS, ARQQ, we're done both those trades. Both of them executed. We went long GPUS at the 45 pennies, just took it out at 80s. Good look here. GPUS up 88%. Be careful with this one. It is putting in lower highs, okay? So on the way there. Now, MRM, we're taking prints on this one as well. We got 66s long. I just got 75s. Still waiting to take some more prints. Your friend ARQQ was good to me yesterday. It's good to me again today. We went long at the $0.25 and we just took it out there at double eights. So ARQQ up 17%. Quantum's in vogue, baby. Maybe they're not all running on the day, but ARQQ certainly is a respectable 17% and a lot of respect as it did yesterday for the volume weighted average price, a predictable level off which you can buy it. I picked it up off VWAP yesterday. I picked it up off VWAP today. And this area, by the way, over here is VWAP. I know it's a little convoluted because our charts start populating a little bit later. But trust me when I tell you, the volume weighted average price is here on my other charts, okay? So just touch $29, back into 66 as we go. So the only trade we got on at the moment is the very expensive stock of MRM trading at a whole $1.70 right now. The next level I'm waiting for there, 176. But we're going to have to take Big Bear AI long, Katina, man, because this thing is a buy program. Katina, man, have a look at the screen over here if you can. Look at this thing. Look, you telling me there's not one measly red candle since 10:50? We're going on an hour and 10 minutes of no red candles on Big Bear AI right now. I'll find out. So seldomly do I look at the news for these trades, Katina, man. Only when I'm at the desk, I'm looking at, no, nothing, brother. I don't think Darrow can confirm that, but I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Yeah, Neil's saying as well, there's nothing. $4.13. Big Bear AI is on one right now. It's on that stuff that, you take. 415, 415 next there. Oh, lunch is ready. Yeah, in case anybody was wondering what that bell is, that's how we're summoned.
There's Jose. He's gone. He's off.
Look at Jose. He's off right away, bro. He doesn't waste any time.
No time.
He don't waste no time. He wants his food.
See you later.
Yeah, that's how we're summoned by, I don't know, what do we call Raquel?
Raquel.
What's her job title, Joseph? I don't know.
Food administrator.
Food administrator. That's a nice name. That's a nice name. The food administrator summons us to let us know lunch is served with that bell. Who of you guys in the chat was summoned with a bell like this for recess when you guys were in grade school? I was. Everybody got the bell, man.
Everybody got the bell. Like,
everybody got the bell. The teachers, and then if you were late coming in,
if you weren't,
you get that scathing.
If you weren't in that line, Sharif, you weren't in that line.
Joseph.
You had to line up.
And we always played football. And we played tackle, and we would get in so much trouble.
You don't even understand.
All the time.
You know how much trouble I got in high school in elementary school playing foot hockey?
Oh,
and just
foot hockey?
Yeah.
Why? What's bad with that?
Because we would be smoking everybody. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's probably why.
Like, if you touch that tennis ball in foot hockey, be prepared to get lit up. And that's just...
I love it.
Unfortunately, that's just not the case. Katina Man's telling me they're not even allowed balls at school anymore.
That's crazy.
What is this? Like,
that's crazy.
What a joke. I mean, like, what do you want your kids to live in a bubble?
I don't know, bro.
Like,
I don't
for
know
me,
what's going on
like,
here,
I don't have any kids. I have a dog. And even for me, I want to allow them, like, yeah, jump off the couch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get, like, active and stuff. You know, live a little, man. You're going to get hurt. I don't know what it is, man. Kids are going to get hurt. You just hope that it's not serious, right?
Did you ever play that game with the tennis ball on the wall called Red?
Red A? Oh,
yeah.
We lived
Imagine the kids trying to play that now in 2025.
We used to, you don't even understand.
Bro.
I would make it to the wall, and my boys would still look to like, destroy you with that. Yeah. It's,
and everybody gets to shoot at you and throw at you.
Yeah,
and you just got to turn around.
What
like
happened with that? It's either you mess something up and then you just had to stand on the wall while everybody just licked you with the tennis ball.
That was the game. That was the game.
Yeah, we were tough cookies, man. And sorry to go on about this, but I mean, at recess too, we were nothing but WWE. If you didn't watch your back, it's either we're playing foot hockey or it's WWE. At any given moment, you could catch a spear from any way. If you weren't paying attention, you could get RKO'd, speared, anything. It was dangerous. And like, this is how we are. Today, you can't even bring a ball.
I'm sorry for this generation, but yeah, it's their problem now. All right, so here's the deal. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We're sending you to Darius. She's going to tell you what's happening now, and then Neil is going to drop his lesson of the day.
Yes, both of those things will happen, but we're going to start here with happening now, which is happening, you guessed it, now. Here is the Nasdaq. Actually, beautiful bull flag on the 15-minute chart so far today for the NQ. Some clear resistance just above around that 522 halves level, but Nasdaq right now really amped up, seeming poised potentially to break this. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Looking pretty similar here, but I will say these highs, a slightly lower high in these wicks, and B, a little bit less strong looking potentially than that Nasdaq 100. Potentially because NVIDIA, which we'll talk about in a second, and Google are really leading this push to the upside, two big tech names. Here's IBIT. Of course, Bitcoin and all of its related assets and entities are 100% going to be on watch today because Bitcoin made a new all-time high. Congrats to the holders and hodlers out there for that push to the upside, though right now chopping a little bit near these highs. Here's MSOS, not moving much right now, but just be aware, I just saw this headline coming in from Marijuana Moment. Apparently, Biden's drug czar, so the drug czar or leader of, I guess, this drug administration from the Biden administration, Dr. Rahul Gupta, saying that actually marijuana rescheduling is being blocked by opposition from within the DEA. So just some talk here, nothing really concrete or actionable from that, but just be aware, some talks here with regards to, I guess, the efficacy or potential for this marijuana rescheduling. Here is NVIDIA, NVDA at day's highs. Nice push to the upside. Yesterday, we had Elon Musk saying that Tesla does expect to be buying quite a few GPUs from NVIDIA and AMD. He also plans on buying apparently roughly 1 million NVIDIA Blackwells for XAI. So Elon Musk here with quite a few potential orders for NVDA. Great push for this stock. Great push for lots of this market. But I can't send you back to the midday quite yet because we still have Neil and his lesson of the day. So without further ado, please take it away, Neil.
Lesson of the day is if you're going to put kids in bubble wrap, then no, it's not to do with that. But look, at the end of the day, I guess all those rules like kids can't have balls at school, I feel like they allow certain ones, just a clarification. My daughter's school, like they have them out there for you, and like, these are what you can play with. But the idea is you want to preach like safety. For a trader, you don't want to put yourself in bubble wrap, but you do want to make sure that every trade has its plan of action. And it's so important on a trend because, you know, you're going to make multiple on a trend or where there's like a million things blowing up, you're going to have potentially a lot of opportunities and a lot of possible entries where you can join the trend, where you can hold the trend, where you can get into the trend, all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to start with the other direction because sometimes you just have to have an out. And all I'm going to tell you is, like on Alphabet here, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, all tight stops. And each time, yeah, you could argue that you're going to go into a long, but you have got to have, sometimes people say an out, I say a reason why you're getting out. So if it's a price level and a stop, it's a price level and a stop. If it's an indicator and a stop, it's an indicator and a stop. If it's something you see in the tape at a certain price area and you manually punch out, whatever that is for you, as long as it's something, that's how you stay positive. That's how you manage to build consistency. And the other part of that plan is, hey, when it works, have the same mentality when it works. I'm going to show you, I'll end with IBIT, but I'm going to go into AMD. Like, similar plan of action, but when we get in on the dip, and we talked about this in the morning show, we buy into the prior low. Ideally, like ultimately here, it holds this level at like 113.5. I usually use the prior bar when buying the dip. So in this particular case, some traders would give it to that low. I don't. I give it to the prior bar low. So we're long into the prior bar low. That's our out. And you want to make sure. So if you get in, for myself, my average price, if you saw the morning show, my average price is 114, and the prior bar low was 113.69. Let's just say. It's 69, but let's call it 35 cents, not 31. If you're risking 35 cents in here, then when I get out of this trade ultimately in 3 shots at 115, I know that my average out is about 111.55 to 60, right? So if 114 long, that ends up being 55 to 60 pennies on average, risking about 30. So then I know that works. 1 to 1.5, actually 1.5 is your risk to reward. That's the kind of plan of action. But the other side of it, it'll happen to you. Sometimes you get out and you don't get back in. But you've got to be able to live with that. Sometimes you get out and you don't get back in, but you've got to continue to take your shots. I'll go to one where we didn't have any trouble getting back in and holding. Again, where every single execution should have a plan of action. I said I wanted to buy the first available dip when Bitcoin started breaking out. The first dip I missed. The second one we got in, but it broke the low. So we jump out of it. We said we wait for a bottoming tail candle. We got the bottoming tail candle. You're in long to the low. This one you've got to hold because the low down here, that's a good 15 to 20 cents depending on how quick your entry is. So it could be 15 at perfect, 20 cents there. You've got to hold for the move to the high of the day because that's where you get your 1.5 to 1. Then we get the all-time high fail break. So all-time high fail break. I'm like, we're buying the dip in the all-time high fail break. It dips. There's your hold of 61.75. The long is 92s, and then even, so an average price of about mid-90s. That's 20 cents worth of risk. You want to make sure you're holding for that 1 to 1. And then the same thing on the reloads, on those dip buys. Every single entry point should be like, this is where I'm wrong. And then you can evaluate your trade after the fact. Okay, so if I held it, my stop was 20 cents. When I got out, and when I ultimately completed the trade, what did I make on that? Did I average 30 cents per share? Did I average 10 cents per share? Whatever it was, and then you can start to grade how you did on that individual execution. Even if you have multiple, like even if you're in there every single time, each one is a decision that you made that you've got to be able to evaluate. So it's ideal when you're able to work and hold into the trend. Sometimes it's, and I'm going to end with Alphabet here, sometimes it's more important that you just exit, obviously. Oh, and there was one more I wanted to say, because we have to see the CoreWeave chart. This hasn't been seen enough today. CoreWeave, like this is insane. Like I didn't see CoreWeave until everyone was yelling about it off of VWAP. So at that point, I told you I was looking for a mean reversion. I took it. It held the first dollar with the best I can tell you is, let's just say there was a refresher on the bid in front of 105. So when a stock is this strong, the best you can do is get out. Like I'm taking this short here to that top. I'm essentially risking, well, prior bar high. So that's about 50 pennies, and it gave $1. Well, if it gave the $1 and there's a buyer down there and that's 2 to 1, just jump out of the trade, and it's still going high. The stock is an absolute beast. But it just goes to show, like every single execution, you want to have a plan of action. Like, why are you doing it? Like, why am I getting in here? Where is my out? How far? Like, where does it need to go to not just be a profitable trade here, but if I take this 10 days in a row, a profitable trade overall? Like, that's how you want to be evaluating yourself here. And on trends, there's so many opportunities to get in that it can get lost in the sauce, properly going over your trade and your risk to reward to ensure that you can try to stay green. So I see the Playmaker poll up here. I'm guessing everybody's voting long, so I don't know, I feel like every now and then I just vote short because I want to see if it ever wins, but not this time. We'll go with the long. We're only an IBIT to the long side right now. So hopefully the Playmaker does well for everybody in here. Good luck holding on to your longs. This market is an absolute boomer here. There's your lesson of the day. Always have a plan of action. But when you have a trend trade or when you have multiple entries and exit, ensure that every decision, not just the overall stock, how you traded it, every decision that you made had a plan, because you might make many of them on a trend. There's so many points of entry. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you very much, Neil. As always, wise words, sound advice, and just an awesome guy. As always, Neil Roberts, every day around that noon hour, dropping his lesson of the day. Thanks again for that, Neil. Yeah, do you have anything to cover?
Yeah, Okay. I do actually.
Go ahead.
For the people in the chat, someone in the chat was asking me to kind of do the same options analysis with Google that we're doing with NVDA. I'm open to this because I want to start grabbing some shares of this name as well too. Even though I sold right at the bottoms, part of that rage selling, I guess. So not the best, but I mean we're in some good names as well too, guys. So one thing is we can't just do this overnight, right? What's in the past, we can't really bring that up on the options chain. So now we have to be continuously forward looking. So what are we seeing displayed here? We have a congestion of high levels of open interest around this 30, 34, 72, sorry, 70, 170, 172, 175, but that equals 30,000, 34,000, and 27,000. If we go a little bit higher, 180, we got 36,000. That's going to be the highest relative to what we see else here. So now we have this documented. What do we have to do next? Okay, we need to be patient. We need to wait until next week's this week's expiration cycle and see what rolls over to next week. If those high levels of open interest are continuously being lifted in strikes, then we can have some bullish sentiment, and that's something that we got to focus. We now have our one data point, and that's the thing about this. It takes time to collect the data to see where we might be moving in price. Now, if we're seeing that on the opposite side, on the put side, we see the high levels of open interest start to slowly decrement and move lower, then we can say, hey, there might be some potential more downside here, but everything's looking positive in Google, especially in the overall market. So now we have data point one. Let's see what we can string together next week, and we'll look at those high levels of open interest, or if they stay within the same range, because that means, hey, maybe we're going to consolidate a little bit this week, and then it'll take a little bit of time for us to continue to appreciate. So yeah, that is what we got going on here. Now documented 172, 170, 172.5, and 175 is where we're seeing all this congestion and open interest. And then let's pull up the actual Google chart as well too to see how we can correlate that with the options chain. Oh, what's the high over here? 173.16. Okay, so we have a supply zone through these three strike prices there, guys, all the way from 170 to 175. There's lots of supply. Not saying that we can't break through them. We just need kind of some more volatility, more volume to step in, and the momentum in order for us to break through that. When we have those massive volume spikes, that can tell us, hey, yeah, there is going to be enough participants in the market to absorb all of these high levels. Okay, so that's what we need to focus on right now. You can see we're kind of stalling at these highs, and that's how we correlate these moves with the options chain there, Sharif. Now, I want to pull up Robinhood as well, too, because we're just continuing to climb higher here in this name. Looking absolutely fantastic. Sharif saying sympathy play with Bitcoin. Yeah, I think because I mentioned before 2 quarters ago, 700% increase year over year in crypto transactions. Phenomenal stuff. As soon as I heard those numbers, wait for the pullback, get involved in this name. Now, here we go, trading at 66.85, about to tap into 67s there on...
Love it, man.
Oh, yeah, what's that there?
Katina dropped another walk and talk for everybody who follows the
All right,
Katina
yeah,
Man
so
on
walk
the
and talk with Katina Man on that there. We're going to send it to Adair in one moment, unless it's breaking. I want to see these high level. I want to look at the open interest on Robinhood here before we send it. So at 70, we have 13,000. That's higher than anything relative on the options chain for this week's expiration cycle. So we might get a move up into there, guys, and we look for a small rejection, and then we wait for that rollover until next week. Guys, let's see what Adair's up to.
Yeah, honestly, I just want to talk really quickly here about CrowdStrike. No news. I assume this is likely a Pan-W sympathy play because, of course, we know that Palo Alto Networks is earnings day one. I want to mention here as well, on Monday afternoon, they announced this integration with NVIDIA, or I guess NVIDIA Enterprise AI Factory, but there's nothing new on this. This is, again, from a couple days ago. So CRWD, not at all-time highs, but certainly near recent resistance, and actually right now wrestling with $450. Back to you.
Thank you, Adair.
I want to see Katina Man's walk and talk, man.
Oh, the Katina Man dropped a walk and talk on the gram. I don't know if you posted on you posted on the gram, right?
I don't got that gram.
Yeah, I know. Well, whose fault is that? All right, guys, here's the deal. We're in a couple of positions, both of them doing okay. I'm talking about MRM and MLGO. Let's start with the first one here. What do we got? What do we got? There we go. We got the print on MRM at 76s. We're long at 66s, so we continue to move up here on the dollar name. Let's set up at 80, and then we're going to set up at 83s. Right? Let's just look to take some prints ahead of that high of the day. I'll submit to you guys the high of the day on MRM is 88s. So be on the lookout for that mid to high 80 area rejection. Oftentimes we do get that rejection, and MRM is a habitual offender, right? It did it at 10:35. It did it at 11:20. It did it at 11:40. So if it did it 3 times, it's likely going to do it again. So put those profit takers out there. Here we go. I'm waiting at 80s. Now it's showing me 79s. Can we get a print? We're eating up the size at 79 there. Boom, up into 80. We don't get the print. It's got a cross, Katina Man. Now we get the print. Boom, to the high side. 40% and going. Appreciate you. Let's see if we can get that next one. We're waiting at 83s. And then above that, we're going to wait high at daybreak. So as I mentioned, it's 88s that were the high. We're going to wait at 92s. And that's what we're going to do there. We just got the 85 print there. Boom. So looking to do some more damage on MRM. Good look on this one. It's breaking out. Watch out for the reversal now. Ooh. Okay, we did it before. We got into 88s. It sells off really aggressively. Now, it could clear it, right? Who the hell knows? I don't know. I'm just basing it on what it did last time. Gets into that high day, drops bigly. Shout out to the orange one, dancing up a storm on your screen. Hey, what's going on there, Katina Man? The Katina Man's long IBIT. Again, let's have a look at where Bitcoin is. Back above 109,000 and going again, Katina Man. We are only $500 measly dollars below the high of the day, or the all-time highs, I should say, $109,746 and no cents. I don't know why I said that. But that's fine. MRM, I guess we're done this trade. I didn't realize that we took out the last beak water there, but it sells off true to form. Yet another topping tail candle into 188 and drops back down. So we'll look to reignite the position with this one at the 10 exponential. Now, here's the deal with MRM, okay? I perceive the money fills on MRM to be a skosh below that 10 exponential. I'll give you my case in point. Look at this. All these ones defend the 10, right? But there are these outliers, like this candle here at 1140, like this one at 1125, that breach the 10 EMA. Those are the money fills. In my humble observation, I'm putting another buy order just a little bit below that 10 EMA. I'm going to put it at 167, 169, something like that. Let's go ahead and throw that one there. I did have one that didn't fill at 162. So let's go ahead and wait over here at 167, see if we can get a money fill in and around that area. That's going to be my move there. Let's have a look also at MLGO. This one, not as directional as the others. Where is my MLGO trade? There we go. So we got one measly print right back down into the level that I came. Now, the reason I got in at this level, look at these two candles over here at the high of 147. It held that level or rejected that level, dropped all the way back down to 137. And so I perceive this general area here to be a previous area of resistance, and it certainly is acting as a level of support, at least for now. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, all defending that 148 area. It doesn't mean it's going to do it forever and ever more. So make sure to lock in some profits while you can, because these ones have a way of bamboozling you. So I'm putting my stop, Joseph, at 146. I'm just not going to allow it to go against me. Let's go ahead and throw that order in there. Where was my previous stop on this? I should probably know that, but I don't. So MLGO, I gave it to 143. So we're going to cancel that, and we're going to go 146, and we're going to cancel the previous 143 stop. Adara, what's up?
Donald Trump right now and the president of South Africa currently meeting. They're talking here in the Oval Office. It's a bit later. We were expecting this meeting to start around 12:45. So it's for once, Donald Trump actually here early with this meeting. We know sometimes he's a penchant for being a little bit later. But right now we're watching them live in the Oval Office being streamed by the Telegraph. Not a lot of viewers of this right now, but we're going to keep an eye on this story and keep you guys posted. I am listening to the meeting. Back to you.
Yeah, let's see what we got going on here, guys. I'm still cooking up in this trade here. I want to see if we can punch through this resistance zone that we're seeing. One thing to note is that we are constructing a lower high here, right, guys? But we do have some positive trend here. If it snaps it to the downside, maybe we get a hefty pullback. So there you go. There's that trend line right now, guys. So there's a little bit of room to run and hold. So we'll be patient on that one. There's a couple ad opportunities here, but we're just talking about it today. I mean, I went to the washroom here, and I'm like, oh, okay, nice. I come back later, and then it's like boom, 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 boom. Just catching that here with you guys, and it's like, let's go. Yeah, sometimes you get that gut feeling. And today was it. I was even saying before we got that test of the all-time high, Sharif, I'm like, yeah, I think it goes today, just from last night's price action and everything along those lines. So yeah,
I saw it touch 108. Yesterday, I was like, okay, so true to form, you know, breaks out when we're not at work and on the show and stuff like that.
And then you get the street coming in the next day
to
buy things up, right? And I mean, when I woke up at 3 in the morning, I obviously had to look at the price of it. For some, my intuition was just, hey, Joe, just, Milo. And then he's like, just also look at it. But yeah, it is what it is. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to all my individuals in California. So shout out to all the Cali traders and everything. Yeah, if you know who the group Abby Dijon is, shout out to you. And if you do, just say, yeah, Joe, I know them. But yeah, shout out to everybody in California. Anyways, back to these markets. NVDA, just absolutely the gift that keeps on giving, guys. You know, I have an average of just like 105 on this name. I was just grabbing it, and it's essentially the same thesis. Once we crack that downtrend, it's like, all right, let's get involved in this name. It's been consolidating for an extended period of time. You get that pullback, and it's kind of identical style. And I don't like comparing apples to oranges here, but from a technical standpoint, I believe you can. And it's very similar in the likes of Bitcoin and some of these other big names that we're seeing here in NVDA. So, yeah, those the same thesis, crack of that downtrend line, we hold it, now we have those higher lows, and then you just look to get involved on that. You can see we're consolidating right here, where we open up around 132, and then we just punch through some of these resistance zones. Can there be some more topside? Absolutely. All we got to do is sit on the top end of this range, and then we can continue to climb higher, and that's exactly what I'm looking for here. We see those strikes and those high levels of open interest continuously being lifted week after week. This is a bullish sign for me. And with that being said, there's just so much going on right now. Deals being struck left, right, and center. The tariff news seems to be in the rear view mirror for now anyways. So you just got to ride this bull and continue to climb with the markets. I wouldn't want to be chasing up here. I do believe we're going to experience somewhat of a pullback. But one thing to note is that when we have kind of that rage selling and that extensive selling to the downside, the rebounds tend to be somewhat stronger than what we've experienced. Can we crack through those all-time highs? I want to take a look at the Qs to see how far off we are. I mean, yesterday we were talking about 2.5% off of those all-time highs, and I believe we're still roughly around those neck of the woods. But everything's looking positive. I wouldn't be surprised if these gaps do get filled. But from an appreciation standpoint, I think we're looking pretty good in these markets right now, Sharif.
All right, man. All right, we doing it? Okay. No problem. All right, I'm long here, OFAL, like a nutbag. Let's see if we can take out some of these levels. I'm long at the low there, 694, show me 725. So I've already wet the beak once. Let's see if we can move up here. This is the, what's it called? The IPO. So nice move up here on OFAL. The reason I got in here, this is a higher low into the volume weighted average price. It did this at 1205. It did a bottoming tail hammer candle that found support at that 640 area, which happened to be the volume weighted average price. Showing me 28s right now. I'm waiting a little bit above 40. There's a seller here at 28 that we can't shake. So let's see which way this cookie crumbles. Trade the Pool, guys, is redefining what risk means for traders. No more risking your life savings to prove yourself in the market. They give you access to company capital up to $200,000 to trade real stocks, guys, not these CFDs. And your downside is limited to a single one-time fee that starts at just 47 bucks. That means no blowing up your personal account. You get to trade with serious buying power, all while knowing your losses are capped. All you have to do is pass the evaluation, and that is it. You're funded. So if you're interested, guys, scan that QR code and get 10% off to start trading with Trade the Pool. Shout out to them, man. Fantastic look there. And definitely giving you a way around that, what's it called? The PDT rule, especially, which definitely has to be in mind for some American traders who may not have 25K in the account. All right, guys, so we're right back into my entry, right back into 7 here. We're long 94s. So this one did zig and zag. Let's see if it finds some support here at the volume weighted average price. I don't mind flattening out. I've put my stop below that 40 penny level, but we've extracted a couple of beak wetters on this one, looking for it to go. The next profit taker, we're waiting at 7 mid-40s, but it will have to hold that volume weighted average price, OFAL and IPO, up 71.5%, Joe, or 0.25%. Let's see if this one can go.
Absolutely, guys. Yeah, we're getting another big spike here in Bitcoin. We can see the streak displayed here on the time of sales. So if I scroll down, it's just like another flush, and you can see that we're cracking through some of these resistance zones. I don't want to buy the top of this range right now just due to how, even though it is extremely strong, that's just not something I'm looking to do right now just because of the volume profile. So we'll be patient, but we are holding that uptrend really, really well. And if we crack this high, then who knows where we can go. I mean, if we head into price discovery and people can just start being like, oh my days, we're on the wrong side of this trade, and then you get that short squeeze type price action. So yeah, I mean, this is what we got to be patient. If you can catch the lower end of this range, hopefully you're positioned well, so you can see the weakness also being displayed. So we're rejecting these zones here, 62.20 starting to pull back in, but we're holding these higher lows relatively well. Let's pull up the chain to see what we got going on from a possible hedging standpoint here in Bitcoin. So, okay, so 62 we have, so what are we trading at? 62.12. That can justify why we're seeing some overhead resistance, guys. We got 46,000 open contracts at that 62 level here. And what I'm going to do is the same thing with the likes of Google and the same thing with the likes of NVDA, is that we're going to monitor these strike prices to see if these high levels of open interest are being rolled over to higher strikes. And that's something that we have to do, right? Like continuously monitor. That can help us build and establish thesis. So that's the name of this game. We're going to keep our eye on that. We are continuously constructing a higher low, so until we break through that and now put in a higher high, I'm not going to take anything off, right? I'm sitting on some small size right now, looking for an add opportunity. If that volume and that momentum steps right back in, then I'm going to look to punch, right? I'm going to punch, get a nice scalp here in this name, and that's exactly what we got going on. Can you let me know RGTI? Yeah, we can talk about some of that IBIT only option, says Pizza Rat. Nice work. I mean, leverage that system. Hey. It's looking really, really good for you. I'm seeing my name being tagged a lot here. Joseph, is Apple forming a triple bottom or a flat bottom break incoming? Yeah, let's take a look. We're just going to go down the line here, guys. So be patient with me. We got to go over everybody's TA, right? Because we have a lot of questions, and unfortunately, we can't just cater to certain individuals. All right, so, so Apple kind of raining on the parade. So do I see a triple bottom? I don't personally. I would want to see multiple touches with a clear support level. I'm not seeing that clearly. I mean, we do have this, but we're now south of that. From a triple bottom standpoint, you're going to get the no from me, so there's no nod on that one. Pug Life, thank you for that. Much appreciated. Joseph, I'm in South California. I was a big fan of Abby Dijon. I don't like Dijon solo project, though. Abby's beats has something unique. Them guys still hang around or just on IG. That's fantastic. I didn't know there's that many people. I know they're more low-key, Mopar for life, because I'm in Toronto, but I don't know anything other than that. I was introduced to them probably close to a decade ago from a friend. Yeah, and it was like a suburb vibe, living by the lake and everything like that. It was fantastic stuff. So thank you for that. Yeah, it was sick, man. Just like playing music, windows open, summertime, good vibe music. Yeah, it was a fantastic time to remember. Now, Sumathi Krishan, sorry if I butchered your name there. We're going to take a look at RGTI and some of the quantum computing stocks here because we've been trading that for the past couple of days. Now, see, the thing is with RGTI, it's not as strong as QBTS, but one thing to note is that we're consistently forming these higher lows. That's a positive sign. But if we crack that, then I would look to get out and maybe just be patient and you can get a better price. But that's a bullish sign, right? Slowly starting to curl over. There's a lot of resistance zones that we need to crack and hold. 1151 is going to be one of them here, guys. You can see that we have this pivot before we head into that downtrend and continue that downtrend. But we have cracked the primary downtrend, and we're now on the opposite side of it. So that's a positive signal. Be patient in these names. They're still not making a boatloads of money, or if any money at all. So you got to be really patient in this. But I really like the quantum space right now. Yeah, absolutely, Joseph. I completely agree with you, especially with the advancements that we seem to be making in technology in general. You know, that 10-year timeline all of a sudden becomes a 5-year timeline. Exactly. Who knows? Who knows, right? Yeah. So, guys, let's just cover the MLGO trade first, looking at taking the next beak wetter here at 55s. And then that's the high of the day. That's why we're having a lot of trouble. There's a lot of size coming in at the high of the day. I'm talking about that $1.55. But
Oh, OFAL, and my first loser on the day, and sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, baby. This one did lose VWAP, so I was able to extract a couple of profit takers on it, but full disclosure, negatory on it, and this one did lose VWAP, and it is halted down now at $6.45. It did halt here. Let me just look quickly. What does it do that? There we go, 27.38, okay? So add 5 minutes onto that. That's when the expected open should be, all right? But this is the one that Adara brought to us earlier, LTRY. What a fantastic look this is. It's continuing to go. It's got a $1.50 high a day, 78%. Put some dang respect on this one's name. It is a little extended off this level, so I'm interested in on this, the high 120s or the low 130s. So let's go ahead and set up in the low 130s here as an entry-level position, okay? Not like an entry-level job. And then we're gonna wait a little bit in the high 80s as well to add a little bit more there. Now, obviously, the risk there is if it triggers one order and not the other, you're left only with an entry-level position. That's fine with me. We're gonna have to make concessions somewhere along the line in order to execute properly. So let's see what LTRY does. Very interested in this one. I am less likely to use the volume weighted average price as a guide here on LTRY, given the disrespect it's shown on the day for VWAP. It almost looks like a line of best fit. I will, however, be looking at the 10. I perceive this one to be respecting the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart much better than it is respecting the volume weighted average price. So that's my thinking right now. Let's see if this one can take out a $1.50. Ideally, it doesn't. Ideally, it gets me in before it takes out that HOD. So put in a dip trade already. It already came down into my level, but didn't cross, so we didn't get printed. So we'll keep tabs on that one. It looks like it's going to break out again. Jeez Louise.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, man. Oh, goodness. So what do we do here, Joseph? We can get in a little size here and then DCA into that $1.20. Yeah, into that $1.20 where the what's it called? The 10 exponential is. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it here. Whatever, come what may. It ends up breaking. It ends up breaking. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm going to average into it. It's a fantastic looker on the day. Let me give you the details on this while we're waiting for something to trigger here. $27 million market cap, 35.75 million shares traded on the day with a float of 4.2 million shares. We're going to juxtapose that, obviously, as we always do, with trade ideas to see if they're jiving. No, this one's saying 14.52. Mine says 4.2. So fundamentally different. Also, the float on this one saying 3.33% of the float is shorted. So let's see exactly if we're able to get anything on this one to the high side. Still in this one at 45, is waiting for the order to trigger. Big Bear is back into the higher high, higher low game. $4.06. Alas, it is still below that topping tail candle at 407. Let's give this one the old community college try. We're punching long. Anything below 4, we're gonzino on this one. We're going to look basically to ride trend here on this name. Let's go ahead and set up beak wetters into the 10 penny area and above. So Big Bear on one at the moment. We'll have to see if we can extract something on this one. What's it called? MLGO still not giving me that $1.55 break and take. We'll have to pack our patience. Here comes that order on LTRY, again coming into 34s and again not printing me as a result of the cross. So kind of no man's land right now. What's happening over there?
We're making that push. Yeah,
hold on, man.
Push,
let me look.
Yeah,
109,000.
Let's go.
We're $300.
Let's go.
I just want to see. I just want to see that 110 today. I just want to see 110.
Yeah, let's go.
If we can see 110,
we end the
it's
stream.
not beyond the realm. Hold on.
We don't end the stream. We don't end the
stream.
Hold
on. Let's bring in the double shot over here. Okay, so I got to call out some names.
Call them out.
Everyone. And their mother's fifth cousin was saying I had no shot at this when Bitcoin was at 80.
No shot.
When Bitcoin was at 90.
Ooh.
When Bitcoin dropped into the 70s, they were laughing at me. They're like, yo.
Tell the doubters, Sharif. Tell them.
Yo. He came in hot. He's coming in hot. All right, here he is.
First of all, Sharif, look, we all loving this Bitcoin move, but even yourself, let's admit this. When we were down to $70,000, $80,000, I remember you were just like, hey, you were like, Joe, how do you want your money? This and that, yada yada. You know,
Katina, man, I did say that one time.
Yeah,
What?
I heard it.
I said, how do you want your money?
Yo, Neil just threw off his glasses, by the way.
Yeah, I heard it.
All right.
Neil's
Hey, hold on. The beautiful thing about this show is
What?
everything is recorded.
Everything.
Literally, oh, I like this.
I heard it was
Everything is recorded.
It was OTR though with
Off the record?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Was it actually?
Yeah. OTR with Michael Landsberg.
Michael, this guy.
Unsolved mysteries over here.
Do you know he lives in Brendo's area, by the way?
Does he?
Michael Landsberg?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he did that, yeah.
Sorry about
Go
that.
ahead, Katina. Sorry about that.
No. Look, it's great. It's absolutely great. I mean, we're all happy about Bitcoin. I think it hits. I mean, maybe we should put a poll. Do we think it breaks through?
We did. We
we
put
did.
110 by
Right.
the end of the day.
And
I think
what are we looking at for that poll?
I think that poll's over now.
Yeah, we shut that one down. But I think most people said yes. Yeah.
I'm going with 112. I'm going
It's
with
in the
112.
midday chat.
Yeah,
Actually,
we'll
Katina, man, hold on.
pull
We're going to
up the
verify that for you
statistics
right now, my man. So here we go. Shout out to Assassino. Always doing the absolute most in a good way.
55%.
55%. Look at the question, Katina, man. Does BTC hold 110 by end of midday?
Oh, midday.
That's a statement.
Yeah, midday.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
It was like that day.
Hey, man, if we're shooting, we're shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's fair.
All right, let's hear what
Anyways.
Katina man.
Well, you got your.
No, I don't have anything else to say. I just want to say, congratulations. We also reload. If you want to look at my chart
Get the
here,
Katina man.
we also reloaded right there when we got back from our walk.
Okay.
And yeah, nice little high of the day there, 40. I'm actually sitting, believe it or not, at 63.40. That's 63. No, 63.40, my guy. Another $1 higher than this one as
That's
Bitcoin
big.
continues to get going right now. Look, this is an awesome microphone we have here as well as studio getting ready to rock and roll. But Bitcoin 109.5 right now as we trade IBIT live on the show. So it's going to be a big afternoon as we continue to rock and roll. And by the way, we're having the lunch here. We got the salad.
see
You
it,
can't.
man.
Oh, I'm going to bring it over.
You gonna bring it over?
You're gonna bring it over.
He's gonna take a bite first. Love it, man. I love this show, bro. I love coming
Hey,
here every
man,
day.
if you got proteins on there, you got to be prepared to share it.
Okay. What do we got?
All right, let me get a
Couscous?
piece of that.
And salad.
I like that salad.
Let me
What's
get a piece of that
sauce there,
chicken,
Katina?
man.
Man,
There's a
balsamic?
vinaigrette there. Some
Balsamic. I
vinaigrette
can
there.
smell that bad boy from here.
So the
Katina, man.
barbecue
Jeez,
roasted
Louise.
chicken, oven
It's
roast.
not a bad look there, Joseph. Who can complain about that?
I mean, I am complaining about that whatsoever. But what we gotta not complain about even more, Shreve, is
we gonna do?
IBIT continuing to climb.
Are we doing it live?
It's sitting in this. I mean, yeah, I should
Oh
have
my
added to this
God.
position, but it is what it is, guys. Yeah, we're doing big things over here. I
Get it bigly.
Yeah, we're getting bigly. But I mean, I should
like
get
to
that
hear.
carried away. But yeah, I mean, it's fun stuff, guys. This is exactly why we trade, is to take advantage of these things and look at the tape as we continue to make this push. There is demand for this underlying asset to continue to go higher. 62.40 something and change here is IBIT. My long-term portfolio is absolutely screaming. This is insane. We love this. Like, yeah, I mean,
love it, man.
if it hits 500,000 by 2028, yeah, this is going to be
I don't think we're
amazing.
done minting millionaires, man. I just don't think we're done. I don't know, bro. Look, there's no valuation metric for this, Joseph.
There is
We're
not.
not waiting for earnings to come out for the stock to react.
No.
This thing it marches to the beat of its own drum. Obviously,
It
there's
does.
more nuance than that. I don't mean to simplify it so much, but
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to depend on earnings for this. There doesn't have to be year-over-year increase in revenue. There doesn't have to be better EPS.
Yeah.
That fundamentally changes how things work.
That is big time changing.
Yeah.
I don't think I agree with you on that front, but from a standpoint of we're not going to see that type of crazy appreciation like when you're
I
at
don't
the
know, bro.
lower, right? No, but we went over this. So like, so essentially if it 10 times is from here, it's $1 million. That's a $23 trillion market cap.
Okay,
that
Joseph,
equals
all right,
to the amount of gold, right?
Fine. But that's all. It's gravy. I get it.
Yeah.
We have to compare it to the market cap of gold. I get all that.
Yeah.
I get all that. However, you can't say that with a straight face, knowing where we were and where we've come from. Yeah, like I get that the market has to be the market cap has to fundamentally change.
Yeah.
We're making comps to gold. what's gold? 30-something, 33 trillion?
23-something.
23 trillion.
Yeah.
And where's Bitcoin at? We're 3. We're like 3 and change.
Yeah. No, we're like just over, I think not even,
the crypto
the 3
market
trillion.
is 3. I think Bitcoin
something
is,
like 1.5, whatever it is, regardless.
I just think we're going.
Okay, so best case, I want to hear from you. Best case scenario.
Impossible.
Best case scenario, what price?
What's my timeline?
And okay, so give me your timeline and best case scenario, what price do you think Bitcoin can?
I think this thing hits $1 million, man.
Okay, so that puts it at a $23 trillion market cap.
And that's what it does, eh?
Yeah.
Well, but I don't think we stopped there, man. When we looked at gold, I don't know, in the 80s or in the 70s, did we say, oh my God, $1,500 an ounce? That's insane, right? Like, we're going to have to adjust for inflation.
So Bitcoin is 2.1 trillion right now.
2.1?
Yeah,
that makes sense, because I think the crypto market at large is 3 and change.
Right? But I mean,
say it again? 3.5. Crypto market, entire crypto market, 3.5.
He's back in.
Get it, Katina, man.
No, I just want to say something. Neil and I were just talking about this. So we talk about minting new millionaires, but the thing about it is like how much do you actually even, all of us, I'm not asking individual people, but like how much do you have in Bitcoin? Because even if it goes from 100 right now, guys, to 500,000, if you have $100,000 in right now, like if that's what you're holding Bitcoin and it goes up 5x from here, that's $500,000. Yeah. So the thing is like, I'm just thinking most people, and maybe we should do this as a study on our thing, because as a poll, because how many traders are actually, or how many viewers are in crypto right now, period. Yeah. And if you're not in it and you put new money to work today, you're not minting new millionaires unless, this thing goes to like $1 million and change a coin, right?
That's what I think it goes to, Katina, man. Maybe not on the timeline that you and I maybe think, like 10 years.
But even if I have 50 grand and it goes to $1 million, I'm still not making $1 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to have one full coin.
It's really going to obviously depend 100% on how much you put in. No question about that. Like, if you're going to put in baby money.
Unless you're trading XRP, of course.
Or Solana.
Or Cardano.
Or Cardano. There you go. I love that episode.
But most of my money's in Bitcoin anyways. All right. Sorry to interrupt.
No, of course not. All right. Kendo, NYC, $10 super chat. Sorry, it took us a minute to get to it, my man. Adara says, get it, Kendo.
You know Kendo?
Look what he said. You want to hear what he said, Adara?
I would like to hear what he said.
Let's see what he
Best financial channel on YouTube. Y'all made me FOMO into Bitcoin today.
No.
What?
Congrats to you.
Oh no, he FOMO'd and it's up at all-time highs. What's your problem?
But I got a new segment though. I got a new segment. You ready for this? What is Adara's energy drink for the day?
It's a Lonnie new, so it's funny because
show him the other one, Adara.
What?
Show him the other one.
Show him the other one
multiple
going on there.
Okay. This is an old rock star.
Okay.
So shout out to that song by 21 Savage and Post Malone.
Okay, shout out to them.
That is Rockstar. That is old. This is a Lonnie new. I know Ramin has big up this brand before, and I didn't even realize this was the brand. And then a while ago, I was like, oh, it's just a Lonnie. It's solid.
Okay.
Someone acquired them recently, I believe. This is a cherry twist.
All right,
and anybody who wants discounts on these, Adara knows all of where the discounts are.
Buy one, get one free at 7-Eleven, guys.
What did I tell you, bro? What did I tell you? If there are energy drinks on sale anywhere in the greater Toronto area, she will know what they have, how much they are, and what the deal is, man.
Yes.
Reach out to Adara.
The all natural ones, too. So just let me know.
There you go. There's our new segment. What is Adara's energy drink for the day right there?
All right. New poll. On. I love it. Assassino letting us know there is a new poll that has entered the chat. Do you hold Bitcoin? BTC. Assassino. Are we allowed to include ETFs like IBIT, like what Joseph and I are holding?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The show is ours. We get to make the decision.
The show is ours.
I like it. Assassino, we got to check in with you because we don't want to upset you, brother. You know what I mean? Like, you are the Assassino, right? So.
The one to.
Yeah, here we go. All right, guys. We're actually trading, believe it or not. We're doing it live right now on LTRY. Here it goes, the breakout. We're long at 30s. It just took out 45s. I'm layering my orders here. Here comes LTRY. Shout Shout out to Adara for bringing this one to our attention earlier. Small cap gapper du jour up 85% and going here, baby. We built the position in ahead of that 10 exponential, as I mentioned. Let's see if this one can take out that $1.50 HOD. It's awfully close. We're taking out my orders, baby. We're doing it live. We got a $1.28 now. It's showing me a $1.43. Keep your eye out on this one. It does feel like it is destined to break out a buck up above that $1.50. Don't be a schmuck like me and take it out ahead of that $1.50. Leave a piece for the dream. Let it accumulate, guys. Joseph, tell him.
All right, guys. Have you ever entered an order to buy or sell and the price you got filled at is completely different from what you expected?
Yes.
That's called slippage, Sharif. Slippage happens when you're trading on an old or an underpowered computer, and it costs traders a bundle of cash. So why our friends at Easy Trading Computers created the complete guide to trading computers. This guide shows you exactly what technology you need to succeed as a trader and to avoid slippage.
Okay.
Go ahead and scan the QR code or click the link in the description box to get a free copy of this guide right there. Can I click on that there?
Why'd you read that so subdued, bro?
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, because
it was like we're sitting here yelling up a storm, then this guy's whispering the
because that was leading to my next point.
Hey.
There's 3 pillars of trading. Psychology, playbook, and technology, right? So
there you go.
It's so hard to succeed if you don't have the right equipment in this game. I know a lot of people are trading on their phones. Well, good luck when you're going up against the best of the best in Katina, man, because he's got the best tech here, good computers, and I think you need to have that in trading. That's how I started off. Those were the 3 pillars that started me off here, guys. Is that when I first grabbed my computer, everything, I had to make sure it was quality stuff. So there you go. Go check out Easy Trading Computers, guys, and just lock in one of those. That's one thing that you have complete control. Is he in the chat?
Joseph.
Yes, sir.
We're about to take out the high of the day again. Here we go again. We're at 655 now. We're less than $100 off the high. Come on, 110. And please, 125. Come on.
125.
All right.
125.
Yeah, 125. Look, this guy is in the very advantageous position in this bet of being happy no matter what the result is. Like 125 hits. All right, he's out a couple $100, whatever. Canadian, obviously, not American.
A couple hundred.
Whatever it's at. What is 60? What is it? Like, what would it be? What would it be if we hit 125,000? What would IBIT be? Like $70, give or take, right?
Yeah,
give or take. So 140 US. That's easily 200 Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's that. New high, baby. $109,859. We're just getting closer and closer and closer.
I thought the deal was that no matter what the price is at, you get it at like 110 or something.
Yeah. Well, if we're going with that, then I'm giving myself an extension because you changed the rule. You changed it,
dude. This was months ago. You can't go a week into the expiration date.
I need a little bit more time. We're so close.
Okay, I'm willing to give you more time, but I also need something that if I give you more time, how I benefit from
you already got. You got to change the deal after the deal was made.
It was like a couple days.
I don't care. What the hell does that mean?
You can't go a week out and be like, oh no.
I love how we're arguing for everyone. This is fantastic. This makes for great TV.
No way.
No, seriously. All right. Or I'll stick with the bet. No, seriously though, guys. If this guy is in the position where he's happy either way, he gets his whatever I owe him, or he has to pay me, and then he's up bigly in his, in his personal account. He's got this in the swing. He's got it in the personal. I mean, Satea, talk to your boy over here. Like, what, huh?
You and either way too.
No, I don't, Katina, man. I don't. If it goes down, obviously, I have to pay him, and I'm out of the money in my personal account. It goes up, he's in the money in his personal, but he pays me. But it's okay, it makes the variance makes up for it. That's what I'm trying to say.
The man is a deal maker. Listen, I put on these crazy deals. Listen, if you need any talk to me because I just always put myself in a win-win situation. As really displayed here. That's how you make deals, man.
All right, Donald. All right, guys. All right, what are we doing? What you got over there?
We're just waiting to take some more off, guys. We only have 2% left. So if we crack this and head into 62.60, I'll take another percentage off here. But we're just riding this wave at this point, guys. We're just having a great time seeing this stuff And this is what we want Shreve sweating. I mean, it's good stuff.
We're having a good time.
Yeah, it's a really good time. So yeah, guys, I mean, even if you're not having a good day, just join us, and hopefully we can cheer you up, and you can just enjoy what we got going on. But I mean, NVDA now tapping into 137.30.
Jose, and make Joseph the Donald Trump of Canada again.
There we go.
Get it, Donald.
So the guy just puts on winning deals over here. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. The market, you guys can see, we're just continuing to climb. Let's take a look at the SPY, and we'll pull up some 0 DTEs. We do have some overhead resistance. You can see from the post market there, we tapped into that level a couple of times, and we've rejected it. So if we run into those areas, look for any form of indecision via the price action prints, and then maybe you get a move back towards the downside. We'll pull up the options chain to see if we have any high levels of open interest in those specific areas and what it's telling us for this week's possible range as well. So SPY, the most popular traded options vehicle there is. Okay, so all right, guys, so we can get into the 53s, and I just talk about congestion around specific strike prices, and we're seeing that displayed here around where we're currently trading. So you can see the congestion in the OI at that 592 and the 593. And that's relatively higher than what we got going on from a congestion standpoint here. So you can see a grouping right there. But then we want to look for that max pain, and that's going to put us around 600. Okay, so that's very interesting. 600 on the week. You don't want to get caught offside on that because you can definitely start squeezing, and that next level can bring you into 605. So that's most definitely possible here on this week. We still have about 2.5 full trading sessions here, guys. So yeah, continuing to climb. Positive sign. 600 for the SPY. Wow, that'd be an absolutely fantastic market. What a grab, climb up from the bottoms here. Again, I'll say this is what we want to see. NVDA continuing to climb. Let's see if IBIT can punch through these levels.
Man, I love some of the comments, man. Yeah. Michael Alemu, sorry I butchered your last name. These two guys are so funny. I feel good even on a losing day. Yeah, happy to make you happy, my man. Like, look at Binja. What a dope ass show, man. Yeah. Thank you for the comment there, and thank you for the expletive. Appreciate that. Yeah. I'm sorry, bro. Sweeping LH, hilarious duo. We love you right back, man. We're having a good time on the show, guys. You know, look, sometimes we're going to cover exactly what's happening. That's why Adair's at the big desk. She'll let us know when anything big is happening, and absolutely we'll send you to her as soon as something does break. And then during the other times, we're going to be talking the markets. Obviously today, we're really kind of focusing on Bitcoin because of the all-time high breakout, but usually we're covering everything, guys. We're covering small caps. We're covering large caps, the Mag 7. You're going to see it all on the show. We really don't exclude much, to be honest with you. The only thing that I can say we really don't get into much, Joseph, is oil. Like oil, the commodities, we don't really touch commodities all that much. I mean,
we were talking gold Forex, we were talking gold for a little bit. Yeah, Forex. Sharif and I have only had a small experience, and that's just a currency exchange in a brokerage. We're not specifically trading that, but yeah, oil. Unless we don't talk too much about that. We can keep an eye on the futures, obviously, as well too. But we were talking about gold for some time, just on that monster run that it went on, kind of just everyone using it as a hedge, and you can see just the appreciation within that underlying itself there and within that asset class. But yeah, for the most part, we're going to talk options, we're going to talk the futures, and we're going to talk small caps, large caps, micro caps, whatever it is. And you guys know to ask us about whatever you want to look at, and we pull up, we do some TA on those things. But yeah, we just try to have a good time as well too. I do believe it's a rare group that we have here. You're not going to catch that from all the trading shows that I've personally watched. I don't think I've seen one as exciting as this. Not to like big ourselves up or anything too much, but I mean, it is what it is, and we just try to bring some fun stuff for you guys day in day, and then put on real trades, which is I think it is one of the most important things as well.
Absolutely, man. And I do appreciate all the comments, guys. You're not going to please everybody, and
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, whatever. I really don't care. Yeah. So let's do some more profit taking up here on LTRY, as we've been zigging and zagging with that 40 penny area for a hot minute, and that's my invitation to take some profits on this bad boy. We've been getting a seller of note on LTRY. I want to say around that mid 40s. I'm trying to save a piece for the dream for that $1.50. Here we go, 149 showing up. The tape teleportation is happening as we speak, and if you've been watching the show for a while, you know what I mean by tape teleportation. It means the tape is moving crazy. The tape means time and sales, a euphemism for time and sales. That's a very left side of your screen there. Green will be buying, or excuse me, buying on the offer. Orange will be buying higher than the offer. Red will be selling on the bid, and blue will mean selling below the bid. The reason I have them color-coded like that, I want to see buyer exuberance or buying or seller fear to kind of be able to gauge in real time what the market is trying to tell me, or what the name specifically is trying to tell me. So when you see the tape moving like that, like it just did, see how it got a wave of blue and then it dropped like 4 pennies on a dollar name. Obviously, that's a lot. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. What I do like very much about LTRY is the bull flag. I perceive this to be the second bull flag formation. First bull flag formation started at 1125. There's your pull up, your consolidation sideways. Most notably about this consolidation, it holds that dollar. That's important for me. It's a different trade north and south of a dollar. In addition, when it held that dollar, it continued and made yet another bull flag. We are currently ensconced in the consolidation part of the bull flag. So with that 150 high, what is really important for me here in this consolidation is the higher low on the flag component of the bull flag. So if you take that candle on the 5-minute chart at 1235 and you look at the subsequent wicks, they're all higher lows. So this is what I like about LTRY right now. Let's see if it gives me that break and take of the $1.50. Now here's the deal. It takes out that 150 decisively. I add back into this position because we can easily see a $2 move. LTRY doesn't have the biggest short float, but you know this is setting up quite well. So we're going to see exactly what we get here. We won't get upset. Shout out to my man Neil. Let's see how this cookie ends up crumbling. MLGO is losing that level that I earmarked as support. This is the 147 level on MLGO. And the 147 level was not the area that was holding. That was the area that we rejected. That was the resistance level. The area that we actually held was 148. So now we're starting to put lower lows and lower highs on MLGO. And so I don't know how I feel about that because the volume weighted average price is at $1.41. I'm long this at $1.49. Ooh. Right? So I don't want to be dollar cost averaging into this if it's going to lose the bid. So I'm trying to decide here if I want to move up my stop maybe to that $1.46, lock in a 3-penny loss, or what my move is going to be here. I'm going to think this one through. Also, Big Bear AI, we're involved in that one at 406. It's showing me 403, so we're 3 pennies out of the money. We've had 0 outs on this one. I've been waiting for Big Bear AI to kind of hold a level. To me, it's holding $4. However, that's a good side of the equation. The bad side is we're putting in lower highs. So...
Oh, I didn't even realize this, Sharif. Can you hit the dollar club twice for me there, my guy? Dang, I didn't even know I was in it for that long, man. I'm just focused on the trading.
Bro, you were like the P&L winner on the day. Of course you're in the dollar club.
Hey, man, I was just focusing on the trade. Okay. And I'm like, all right, 60, 69, we're trading on 62.
69?
69er. Yeah, look, check the AP right there, my guy. So
I got problems. I'm just joking. All right, guys. We're having a good time on the show today. It's almost 1 o'clock. What's Tesla up to?
Yeah, Tesla's breaking out here, guys. Okay. I know people are saying it's starting to wake up. Our GTI is waking up as well, too. I don't know if it's going crazy, but we're starting to head towards, there you go, high a day. We tapped into it and rejected it there, guys. One thing we need to note is that, okay, so if we look at this volume profile, we can say, okay, yeah, we stepped in, but is this breakout volume relatively larger than what we're seeing from some of these other volume signatures? No. Can this be a false break? I think so. What we want to do is zoom in here and see what we got going on from a 1-minute time frame. I mean, that is some large volume, but this could also just be a possible liquidity grab. We see that the market is trading around its high of days. It's starting to pull back now. And then Tesla is moving the opposite of that. It decides to break out while the market is moving lower, but it hasn't been participating with that up move. To me, that can signal a possible liquidity grab and a fake out to the downside. Excuse me, guys, the coffee got me hiccuping. But yeah, so that's kind of just my analysis there. You can see that we were trading significantly higher. These tech stocks were just on an absolute monster run. And Tesla wasn't participating with the rest of the pack. Now that it's starting to pull back, it decides to do a false break with the volume print does support that. but it's also totally against what the rest of the market is. And I think it's really important to correlate where the market is currently sitting at and where this breakout is occurring and why it's breaking out now and not following the rest of the market earlier in the session. All right, guys, so we'll keep an eye out on Tesla. BBAI, I know some individuals in the chat are mentioning that, so we'll take a look at BBAI. Okay, so yeah, really nice trading here in this name, pulling back with the market as well too, but yeah, really strong stuff here in the tech space, guys. If there's anything you want me to go over via options chain or just even some basic TA, just put it in the chat. We'll go over some of these names. There might be a potential ad opportunity on IBIT. I did miss 2 of them. So one thing, even though we're having fun with this trade, my job is to now go back and say, hey, how can we make it better? All right, so we need to add here, and we need to add here, in my opinion. So I'm already just doing some homework for myself.
He's doing it live.
Yeah, and I'm doing it live to just see how we can just make ourselves that 0.5% better, or 1% better leading into the next day. And I mean, like, you guys see that I continuously add into this position. This didn't happen overnight. One thing that I want to know, you know how many losses that have to be endured in order to...
How many?
Countless. And it's going to continue to happen. But to get comfortable with that, you just got to start somewhere and just get out of those comfort zone, guys. Start adding into those positions. They're not going to work out for you when it first starts out. You analyze, you strategize, and then eventually you learn how to capitalize on some of these moves. And I think that's being displayed here.
You're killing me, bro. You're killing me, bro. You got Assassino pumped over there. I like it, bro.
He's excited about that.
All right, man. All right, guys. Why is CoreWeave rolling? I don't know. Maybe because they spend like $25 billion and make $5 billion a year. Fantastic look for CoreWeave there. No, I have a gym buddy who's in this as a swing, and he was asking my opinion on it. What the? Are you gotta be kidding me? Are you? This is the weekly on CoreWeave. Man. Let's look at the daily on this.
Dude, is that $100?
Dude, that's $110. $109.19. That's the high of the day. It's about to take out the high of the day.
Wow.
That's insane on this. I mean, this is crazy. Where is the? Is this optionable yet?
Yeah. Let's take
is it optionable yet for real? Because this seems like it's going to be a great one.
It is.
It is optionable.
Yeah, it's most definitely there, optionable.
That's insane. Oh my God. We're gonna say bro as many times as we want to say bro. So don't come at me for saying bro. I'm gonna keep saying it. All right, so here we just printed another high day on CoreWeave. CoreWeave is a rocket. And look at the respect here at the volume weighted average price, right when it pulled in, right at 11 o'clock. Holds it like, holds it to the T right there, and then makes another all-time high, 109.40. This thing's going, it's up 21%. I mean, I don't know, are shorts getting squeezed? Was there even enough time for people to get short into this thing? This is crazy to me.
Yeah. Whoa.
My man at the gym must be loving life right now. He's into this from, I think, like I have no idea where he's in from. He's loving life, though. He was talking to me about it at the gym, and I was like, I don't know about this one, brother. Clearly, he's doing it. Anyway.
He's not doing it live, though. He's not doing it live, though.
He's not doing it live, Joseph. He told me about it at the gym. That was all right, here we go. So LTRY, I added into this one. So I only had one beak wetter left. I added, and I took another beak wetter there at the top. You can see that red triangle. We're keeping this position on at the moment. I'm looking for that $1.50 take. It seems to be really respecting that former area of resistance around $1.25. You also have the overlap with that $1.25 with the volume weighted average price. So it's not a bad look there. I'm trying to pack my patience on this one. ADL, I couldn't hear you, bro. Could you say that again, bro?
Oh, bro.
Adara, get me off here before I get in trouble.
Yeah, please don't get in trouble here, Sharif. Apple in trouble, though. I don't have any catalyst on this. I just saw this on X. It's pushing lower. It took out day's lows, and it's moving at quite a rapid velocity to the downside. I have no news. As I mentioned earlier, if I see anything, I'll let you guys know. I checked on X. There's a lot of attention on this on X, but it mostly just seems like spam posts tagging the ticker. I also want to let you guys know we did have that 20-year bond auction, 5.047% versus 4.81% expected. If I find out anything on Apple, I will let you guys know right away. But right now, all we know is this thing is right now trying to make new day's lows, and it just did as we send you back to the Bash Brothers.
All right, here it is, guys. They've got a guy leaving there, former Apple executive Johnny Ive. Let me make sure this came in at 1. Yes, this came in at 1 o'clock, guys. So this is a brand new headline, 4 minutes old. Former Apple executive Johnny Ive to take expansive creative role at OpenAI. Company says OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. Johnny Ive's design firm Love From working on new device to move consumers beyond screens. Sources say Ive works with OpenAI could span future versions of ChatGPT, audio features, and other product. Sources say apparently this guy was one of the chief architects of the iPhone. Johnny Ive, a chief architect of the iPhone, and his design firm are taking over creative and design control at OpenAI, where they will develop consumer devices and other projects that will shape the future look and feel of AI. OpenAI chief executive Sam Altman and Ive's design firm Love From, that's the name of his firm, have been working on a new device that will move consumers beyond screens. According to people familiar with the matter, they have been collaborating for 2 years on a closely guarded project. Sue him, considering options including headphones and other devices with cameras, people said. The former Apple employee's work at OpenAI will extend across all company ventures, from future versions of ChatGPT to audio features, its app, and other products, according to people familiar with the matter. London-born Ive left Apple, in 2019 to form Love From. Okay, I see. Yeah, that's going to be the bad thing here, is that they're looking to move beyond screens. Obviously, that's Apple's bread and butter.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade. So that's not a good look there. Apple dipping down into 203, down 1.5%, when the market, well, the NQ's up 0.25%, so not really underperforming, but not a good look, guys. This is a bit of trouble here for the dead one, Apple. Adela's got more information on the story I just read out.
Yeah, I have some more context here on the Johnny Ive situation. So he has not been at Apple since 2019. It's been 6 years since he was an employee, but I do want to mention he's actually quite integral to Apple as part of its history. He's been at the company, or he was at the company, starting in 1992 before he left about 6 years ago. But Steve Jobs called him the spiritual partner of Apple, and he actually did eulogies at Steve Jobs' funeral, so he's quite involved. So yeah, a $6.5 billion deal here reported by the Financial Times. It was also announced on OpenAI's website in maybe the most unique way I've ever seen. This is the photo that Johnny Ive and Sam Altman used to announce the partnership on the website. So it was reported by Financial Times. It's also been confirmed, this new partnership. I have to show this image because I've never seen anything like it. They're introducing I.O., again, $6.5 billion deal. And that's, I guess, why Apple's moving to the downside here. Johnny Ive, again, I really want to mention, he was a huge part of Apple going back to the 90s, even though he hasn't been at the company for a while. And apparently this is like an AI hardware startup. So as Sharif mentioned, pretty bad for Apple. I just wanted to provide some backup on the man himself and show you guys this photo. Back to you.
Joseph, do you like a little zest in your food?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
With it, yeah,
just wondering.
It's a little lemon in there.
Just wondering.
A little, I was about to say, little Dawn lemon.
Little Dawn, yeah, okay. What kind of zest do you use?
A lemon.
Okay.
Zesty.
Zesty, yeah, very. Remember that soap called Zest? Zestfully clean.
Oh, whatever.
You're not fully clean until you're zestfully clean. Who remembers that jingle?
I remember that.
Do Americans have that? Yeah, Katina Man remembers that. Neil remembers that. Everything's fine, guys.
Oh, now you know.
Y'all get it. All right, guys, here we go. Let's go, Mr. LTRY. Here's the high of the day. We're waiting on the other side of that high right now. Let's keep a look at that high. Are we taking out the $0.50? No. We can't take out the $0.50. So I added into this one, guys. Here we go. So we added on that dip, but we still can't break that $1.50. So we're going to keep an eye out on that one. Not a bad trade, though, on LTRY. It's a good one for now. I'm happy that I added with this one. So we'll keep an eye out on that. You get it. You guys get it. Everybody gets it. I'll tell you after. All right. So we're going to keep an eye out on this one. No, Katina Man, you're gonna get in trouble, bro.
No. No.
You're not clean and you're not fully clean until you're zestfully clean. All right, where is that commercial? Somebody get me that commercial. It's fantastic there, Joseph. Boom!
Bigly.
We take out the high of the day on LTRY. Joseph, shout out to Adara. She brought us this small cap gapper, so we're going to give her a shout out on that. Now over 100%.
Steve,
we appreciate you, Adara. Go ahead.
Steve, don't do it.
What happened?
Steve, don't do it one more time, Steve.
What happened?
Steve Duran. Duran, please. Don't do it.
Oh, he keeps talking about Wolf.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, Steve.
All right, we'll pull it up for you as long as you don't. Don't do it, Steve.
Neil says do it. He's trying to get you in trouble.
You don't want to do it, Steve.
Don't do it. Oh, come on, guys.
Did he do it?
Ozan, Sharif, Bias Moco Chocolate. I don't know what that is. Ozan, man, you're going to have to give me some context, brother.
There we go. There's Wolf. Here you go, Steve. There we go. We'll pull it up. Nice breakout here. You can see that volume profile really start to pick up here, and that's exactly what you want to see for a breakout as you break through some of these key levels and some of the pre-market levels as well, too. So there you go. Steve Duran. I got you, actually, my friend. But, yeah, nice call out there. This is exactly what we need, but please just don't spam the good old chat there. But yeah, there it is, Wolf. Sorry to interrupt you.
All right, guys. So we're doing this one, holding on, or actually I'm done this trade. So LTRY, I'm done, but I did say I would add if it cleared 150 by some distance. So now the high of the day is that $1.60. Let's see how it acts here, okay? If it comes, now, what it did prior, when I observed this, remember why we kept our adding at this level? Because this $1.26 to $1.25, $1.26 was our previous area of resistance. So we got bull flag number 1. Then we got the manifestation of bull flag number 2 once we took out that high. Can we get bull flag number 3? If we can, do we use that $1.45 to $1.50 as the previous area resistance, now support? Because that's exactly what we did over here with that $1.25. That was the top end of the range on bull flag number 1. The consolidation range for bull flag number 2 ended up using the breakout resistance as support. So does it do it again? Now it's coming into that $1.45. Should I be adding here? I'm going to add. I'm going to get in small size, and we're going to give this one the old community college try. And I'll give it to like a buck, I don't know, $1.42, so we'll risk 5 pennies, whatever, no big deal. Is this going to halt or something? No. Okay, here we go. So now we've got 48s on. So we're going to look to take profits here. Let's see if we can get something in the mid-50s, and then we're going to look for a test of the high of the day. So that's what I'm doing right now on LTRY. Going to keep my eye out on that one. I negated to mention that I've been obviously in some other trades, MLGO, BBAI. They're either in or out of the money by 1 or 2 pennies, so nothing to really write home about at the moment. It really is LTRY that's on the breakout right now. It's 100% winner, or was a moment ago, and now zigging and zagging with that $1.50. So let's see if this one wants to continue. Give us bull flag number 3. And we'll see what happens. So that's my look right now. Shout out to Kershaw Crew. Can you please look? No, I will not be looking at that stock because it doesn't exist. Shout out to Kershaw Crew. I love how he retracted the message there. Like I didn't see it.
What are you saying?
Yeah, we'll talk about it after. No worries. So that's the situation right now, Joseph. Yep. What do you got on your side?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. So obviously, guys, we can see that
Bitcoin's coming down.
Yeah, it's coming down relatively aggressively here, guys. And we can see that within the likes of the SPY. So I mentioned this level here. We marked that out for you guys not too long ago, and we didn't even make it to it, and then we just rejected it. So I just was going through some of the larger names, and that's going to be the likes of Microsoft and Apple. It seems that they're going to be the ones reigning on today's parade, Sharif. So yeah, you can see Microsoft right here, guys. A big-time pullback heading towards the opening price of the day. We're holding this support zone really well. I mean, this is a solid indecision print right here, so we got to keep an eye on the volume profile of that. But Adara's got some news for us. Let's see what's going on.
Get it, Adara.
Keep an eye here on DIS. Moving a little bit to the downside, basically announcing here that it's struck a distribution deal with Televisa Univision. So I looked into this. This company describes itself as, quote, the top channel for original telenovelas and family entertainment. It's a Mexican-American media company, and it's, I guess, a lot of Spanish language content. So basically, how this deal works is the U.S. networks are going to join Hulu Plus Live TV Core lineup starting in June 3rd. So really just seems like Disney's acquiring some content. Either way, pushing to the downside on this announcement, which is why it's worth noting. I also have some more context here on the Apple story. So not only do we have ChatGPT acquiring Johnny Ives' firm, and again, Johnny Ives has this AI startup. Johnny Ive is also, he was a major part of designing the iPhone. He was with Apple from 1992 to 2019. So again, we do have, not only is he having his startup acquired by ChatGPT, or sorry, by OpenAI for $6.5 billion, his design firm is also taking creative control and design control over at OpenAI. So not only are they going to have the startup acquired, Johnny Ive is taking creative and design control. This is going to be massive given the massive role that he had at Apple back in the 90s. So AAPL bouncing a little bit, but worth noting, not only is the startup getting acquired, they're really letting Johnny Ive take the helm here, guys. Back to you. Get it, Johnny.
Get it.
Johnny, you broke my heart, Johnny.
We don't want that.
You broke my heart, Johnny.
I mean,
you have to leave the familia.
Yeah, la familia.
La familia.
Yeah, la familia. All right, guys. So interesting to note here. We're getting a lot of these indecision prints. The one thing I want to point out is that we're not getting the isolated volume signature that I would necessarily look for to say, hey, we're going to stop at these levels or stop at the volume weighted average price or anything like that. We can see it displayed a little bit better here on the Qs, but we want to wait a couple minutes to see how this print closes and where we finish from a volume standpoint as well too. So keep an eye on this, guys. I mean, we were really extended on the day. I don't know if this is kind of more of just like a cover rally and then maybe we make a move lower. I'm kind of getting those vibes. So yeah, I mean, look to lock in some profit on some of these names before we get some hefty pullbacks. And there, I think if you do get that pullback, there's going to be an opportunity to add. I know my guy, Tom Lee, was saying that these pullbacks are going to be relatively shallow. Do you listen to exactly what he says? No, you got to do your own TA and come up with your own trade plans. But it's always in the back of my mind, right? So if we can get some specific prices, and that's what I'm looking to add more shares to my NVDA. I can get into some options talk right now as well too. So essentially what my game plan is here is, so I'm looking at, say, what are we trading at? The 120 strike prices, those are in the money. I don't necessarily want to buy those in the money right now because I like buying things out of the money. So what I can do is I can now set an options price at, say, what the 110s are trading at and hope that the 120s eventually trade at that and become only extrinsically valuable, all right? So I only want to own contracts that only have time value. Why do I only want to own time value for the time being? It's because I get to have the ability that if the underlying starts to appreciate, I can gain the gamma and the delta to the point where the contracts are intrinsically and extrinsically valuable. And I think that's something really important to note, is just having the ability to take advantage of these contracts during certain sentiment. So in the money, out the money, you need to have the understanding of the extrinsic and intrinsic value and why those contracts are priced exactly how they are. And that's just something that I'm working on as well too. So you can place an order for a contract that is currently in the money that is and place that order where it's trading out of the money, and then you have the ability to gain that increase in delta and gain that increase in gamma as well too. I think that's really important to understand.
All right, guys, we're doing it live on LTRY, man. I'm really happy with how I've executed on this trade today. Yeah, it's going, bro. So we dipped in, added on the dip. As I mentioned, we are on bull flag number 3 now on LTRY. Once, twice, and we're in the middle or in the process of making it OB dang thrice. Here we go. Now it's $1.69 high of the day. We're 64 right now on the ask. I did add onto this one at 46s, wet the beak there at 60. We're gonna keep adding and keep taking out so long as it is allowing me to do that and so long as the chart pattern suggests that I should be doing that. Anyway, up 110%. Keep your eye out on this one. LTRY, the gift that keeps on giving. But I know you guys have been yelling about Wolf, and so I'm going to cover it now. So clearly, this is a stock that did not have a good day to start. It's down 60 1/3%. This is an earnings loser, I'm assuming, from yesterday. Let me just look over that for a second. About chip suppliers, what the hell, what's this? So Wolfspeed stock dives 63% on worries about the chip suppliers' financial health. Did they report? What happened here? It was preparing to submit a Chapter 11. Oh, goodness. All right, so Chapter 11 is the reason why we're down 60.38% on the day on WOLF. So here's the deal with this one. We're bouncing back up. Clearly, it is a mean reversion trade. This one did lose $1.82. Is the low. It got into $1.40. It is technically halted at $1.24. Let's go ahead and add that one to the side chart. Who are we going to take off here, Joseph? We're going to take off Edible.
I'm curious if there's any Microsoft news.
Sorry, 1 second. Let me just finish this one. So WOF halted down at $1.31 right now. The high of the day, as I mentioned, $1.40. It's even though it is halted down, look at the trend. It is still higher highs and higher lows. So you still have an opportunity here. All right. I personally would be basing my trade on this at prior bar low. If you put your stop at prior bar low, you have not been stopped out since 12:15. It's almost 120. Okay. So prior bar low seems to be the move here for WOLF. Now, we'll see when this one was halted. Allow me to load it up on a trading screen so I can get a gander of what the situation is on this.
Sorry, do we have any news? A lot of people in the chat are freaking out. Do we have anything on Microsoft or anything along those? It's a rug pull.
China curbs, NVIDIA, it's a problem.
It's a big-time problem?
U.S. to keep China chip.
Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is. Here it is. It's Bloomberg, true to form. Bloomberg coming in hot. We're going to, with a paywall, that's nothing for me, though. We're going to get paywall. Here we go. U.S. to keep China. Oh. It's not loaded. It's got to take a minute to load there. 1 second. U.S. to keep China chip curbs, spurning NVIDIA's call for relief. We know what Jensen was yelling about yesterday. It's going to take a minute just to unblock it there. But that's what's being reported by Bloomberg right there. Now, we obviously have heard Jensen rail against chip curbs. I kind of pointed out with Brendo at the Big Desk this morning that we heard very little of this railing during the Biden administration. All of a sudden, he seems empowered to do it. I'm kind of questioning the idea behind that. In any event, we're going to keep tabs on that. I'm trying to get that article right now from Bloomberg. We'll be shortly with that. Give me a couple of minutes, and I should have that article for you guys quick as you like. In any event, we'll keep an eye out on Wolf. It did halt, guys, at 116.05. So it is 121 now. We are ready, likely to open up now. If it's going to be a 5-minute halt, it's not a 5-minute halt, Joseph. So it looks like it will be a 10-minute halt here. No, it's a 5-minute halt, and we're gapping down. Are we below prior bar low? We're at the 10 EMA. So what's the move here? Are we going long? I'm going to give it to 114. Let's go ahead and put 114 at 10. So let's see if we can get something. We're already taking prints of the high side, Joseph. So let's set up over here. We'll see if we can get some more at the high side. We're long at 22s. Just what the beak at 26s. Anything below 114, I'm gone. What do you got?
Yeah, let's go, guys. We got a Profit X, guys. Profit X in sports playing. Flexibility is everything. At Profit X, you can see the order book. Just like the financial exchange, pick your spot and customize the odds to fit your risk. Why settle for a single offered price when you can set your own? Plus, our own mobile interface makes it easy to play on the go. Profit X, we can call the shots anytime, anywhere. Users can use code TraderTV to get our sign-up offer of 2% cash back up to $300. We're off to Adair. We need this news.
Go.
Yeah, I want to provide a lot of context here. So this is just Apple. I'll just pull up the market. So what's happening here is this was just an interview between Bloomberg and Shriram Krishnan, who is the White House Senior Policy Advisor for AI. So this is just one man's opinion. This is just Shriram Krishnan's opinion on the situation. He's the White House Policy Advisor for AI. I looked into him. He has a background in venture capitalism. But basically, he said here that when it comes to inside China, I think there's still bipartisan and broad concern about what can happen to these GPUs once they're physically inside. So even though we do have, as mentioned here earlier, we have Jensen Huang very much not liking these China policies. Shriram Krishnan, it sounds like at least trying to represent the Trump administration here, they're still saying they're concerned about what happens to the chips in China. They still want to be careful there. So there's not actually a lot of comments coming out here. This is just an interview between one individual from the Trump administration and Bloomberg. And it's worth noting, this didn't get circulated at all on X. I think it was just reported by Bloomberg and posted on Benzinga. So it's interesting how this moved the market the way it did, because there doesn't seem to be a lot of eyes on it, at least from the sources you usually see circulating this information. I'm going to keep reading into this, but yeah, this is just a Bloomberg interview here, guys. Back to you.
The article now, Dara. So let's have a look through this right now. All right, so here it reads as follows. This is important, obviously, because this accounts for a large portion of the revenue. It was 20%. It obviously dwindled a little bit as the embargo, the restrictions continued under the former administration, now the current administration. So reads as follows. The Trump administration will maintain efforts to keep advanced artificial intelligence technology out of China's hands, a top White official said, brushing off calls from NVIDIA Corp chief CEO Jensen Huang to ease restrictions on chip exports to the world's second largest economy. Here's the quote. We obviously have huge respect for Jensen, Sriram Krishnan said, White House senior policy advisor for AI. I guess maybe he's working with the SACs, said in a Bloomberg television interview on Wednesday, obviously today, when it comes to insight, what happened, Katina, man? The market's tanking. The market's saying, I'm looking at NVIDIA. I'm going to continue to read this. You guys can execute on if you want. Where was I? Yeah, when it comes to inside China, I do think there is still bipartisan and broad concern about what can happen to these GPUs once they're physically inside the country. He added, while the Trump administration still sees a security risk from widening AI chip exports to China, Krishnan said it agrees with Huang's view that restrictions on a wide range of other U.S. trading partners need to be revisited. The Trump administration is rescinding and moving to replace a Biden-era AI diffusion rule, which we already know, that Krishnan said created GPU haves and GPU have-nots. When it comes to the rest of the world, we want American AI stack starting from the GPUs to the models to everything on top, Krishnan said. On that, Jensen and us are in agreement. Go ahead, Adara.
Thank you.
There's a couple other geopolitical and other things I want to mention in addition to this NVIDIA headline. These things are, especially that the Treasury bonds are kind of being attributed to this drop here. So apparently the 20-year Treasury yield climbed, as we mentioned earlier, 5.1%, but that is the highest since November 2023. So notable level here for the bonds. I also want to mention there's just some geopolitical things to be aware of. Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel is saying that Israel, quote, probably led to the death here of the leader of Hamas. So more geopolitical tensions happening right now, just things to be aware of as we digest this move down in the market. I'm continuing to look into Sriram Krishnan, but I don't have much more for you other than, as mentioned, he's the senior policy advisor here for AI. I'm going to look more to see how he interacts with David Sachs. Back to you.
Oh my God. All right, here it continues to go. You guys execute on this as you like. I'll continue to read. You guys can hear what is happening. Huang told reporters that China will account for a $50 billion opportunity in 26. Joseph, China has 50% of the world's AI developers, and it's important that when they develop on an architecture, they develop on NVIDIA, or at least American technology, he said. NVIDIA recently wrote off $5.5 billion in H20 AI chips that had been designed to comply with previous export curbs, but were targeted by a new round of restrictions from the Trump administration this year. Krishnan pointed to the flurry of projects in Saudi Arabia and the UAE and announced by American companies during President Donald Trump's trip to the Middle East last week as evidence of a new effort to ease U.S. allies' access to AI. He stressed that the agreements would still contain security restrictions and prevent the illegal transfer of advanced technology to China and other adversaries. So what they've been talking about here is a way to track the chips so they can see where they're geolocated, or for them to be turned on and off remotely. That's obviously still in the works. Nothing about that. The article's almost done here. These deals and these GPUs are predominantly going to be run by American hyperscalers, American cloud service providers, and American companies, says Krishnan, who was a general partner at venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz prior to joining the White House. Most of these GPUs are going to be run, hosted, controlled by American companies. That is the end of the Bloomberg article there. Clearly not a good look for the market today, right now, really reversing this market bigly, right? All the major averages are now negative. 1 1/3 on the ES, 1 on the NQ, 1 3/4 on the Dow, and 2 almost and a half on the Russell 2000. The market not taking this in stride. I guess, you know, maybe we had gross revaluations, Joseph, once we heard that the Trump administration wanted to remove the AI diffusion rules and a more liberalized approach. Doesn't seem like it's going to be that way for much longer.
No, not at all, Sharif. And I'm just looking for more news as well, too, guys. So,
go ahead,
if you guys are looking to see what's going on in the market, you're in the right place. We're going to go send it off to Adara right now. I think this is going to be a beautiful opportunity to add into some positions. A lot of noise, in my opinion, but as soon as I get that call for Adara in my ear, I'm going to be ready to send it off, guys. All right, let's send it off to Adara. We got some more news for you.
Got it, Adara.
I think this isn't huge, but it's just worth noting the sheer amount of headlines we're being inundated with over the past, 10, 20 minutes. We started here with the OpenAI headline, which I'm still seeing circulating around X. In case you missed it, Johnny Ive, formerly of Apple, is selling his new IO startup here for $6.5 billion to OpenAI. Here, though, is the Nasdaq as it continues to drop. The most recent headline here, it has to do with the Commodities Future Trading Commission. Again, not probably huge, but worth noting, Kristen N. Johnson, one of the commissioners for the CFTC, or the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, stepping down. So just a lot of turbulence, a lot of headlines happening right now. Just honestly, throughout the past, again, 15, 20 minutes, guys. A lot to digest. Back to you.
Dara, yeah, I just mentioned before, guys, you're in the right place at the right time. If you want to figure out what we have going on here in the markets, we're going to bring that to you minute by minute. So we're continuing to make these legs lower. I was talking about how much of a move we made to the top side without any significant pullback here. It doesn't take much, a little spark, and then now you can see that we're continuously selling off. Let's pull up the cues from a daily standpoint here, guys, to see what we have going on. And then just from a percentage metric, we're going to calculate off of these April lows, how much we've gained, and we've had no significant pullback. So, I mean, the market will find something. So from where we're currently trading at, that's a 27% move from the bottom to where we're currently trading at. It will find something in order for it to have to pull back, and then magically we might get some news that will bring it to the top side. Microsoft is tanking. NVIDIA has given up every single gain. You've seen how excited we were earlier in the day, and just like that, it is absolutely gone everything. We are now below opening prices on NVIDIA. We're heading towards the opening. We're at opening price on Amazon. Microsoft is gone. It's honestly moving to oblivion at this point. It's not even thinking about slowing down here, guys. So the momentum to the downside, but on the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. We need to see these types of pullbacks from this local bottom. I believe that Microsoft is close to 40%, so 31% from that trough to where we're currently trading at right now, guys. I mean, it looks really bad on the charts, but just relax, take a breath. Hopefully you've had those stops in place and you don't get caught on the wrong side. You've seen how excited we were earlier this morning, and just like that, everything is gone. So just be patient. When we see this momentum style of selling, look for those indecision prints, and you might get that oversold bounce. Be patient. You also don't want to go too aggressively against the trend. A couple attempts, and that's it. Because if the momentum to the downside is sustained, you're not going to have a good time, and you don't want to wipe out all of your gains from either today or even throughout that whole week. That is why having those stops in place is because you experience these types of things. I know a lot of people in the chat saying, I don't like this, I don't like this. It is not fun. NVDA was up at 138. It has now lost $5 in a span of 15 minutes. We were grinding throughout the whole session, and just like that, it is now gone. It is part of the market, it is a part of the volatility, and you can see that the VIX is drastically spiking as well here too, guys. So let's keep an eye on that. We're gonna pull up the VIX here for you. Yes, absolutely. We're gonna talk about that. Oops, we don't want this there. Guys, we have over 8,000 of you watching. Please do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe. We're gonna continue to monitor what is going on. This is exactly what we need. Sharif's got that like and subscribe. We're gonna, Dara's gonna be giving it to you minute by minute. Sharif's got the articles as well too, and we're gonna break down everything from a technical aspect as well. Let me pull up the VIX. The volatility in the market is now spiked, guys. In all aspects, news, options volatility, microcaps, everything. We're bringing it to you right now. Let's pull up the VIX as we get that massive spike in the market here, guys. We're now trading at 18, so off of those bottoms, 18 to now 19 here, guys, from an intraday standpoint. Holding those levels relatively well. Massive spike here in the VIX, but it's still nothing that I would get too worried about. It's the days to come. We're gonna get this pullback. We're 27% to 30% off of these lows. This comes as expected. All it needed was that spark to fuel the fire, and you can see it start to move down here in the overall market, Sharif.
All right, we're doing it live on MRM. This thing tanked into VWAP. I bought the dip. What do I got, Joseph? I got 69s, yes. All right, so we wet the beak there at 75. Now I'm waiting. I posted at 70. Boom, again, man. All right, we're going to take it up a little bit higher here. MRM is the gift. that just keeps on giving every single time this thing makes a high of the day. It tanks and finds support either at the 10 EMA or VWAP. Take your pick. So we're long, literally bottom wick. So we're going to see if we can get that 85 print that I'm waiting for right now. It's probably, you know, very... It's probably not great that I'm yelling about this when a lot of people are out of the money in their positions. This is why, guys, we got this this headline midday. The U.S. will keep the AI chip curb on China, which is obviously not what the market wants to hear, not what NVIDIA wants to hear, not what these chip makers want to hear. They want access, as you can probably imagine, to the world's second largest economy and the second most advanced nation when it comes to AI. Europe, where you at? You're asleep at the wheel, Europe. So get it together. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about over there. I haven't heard about one AI company coming out of that continent. Where are you guys at, man? So let's go.
It's siesta time, no?
Hey?
It's siesta. That's the lunchtime break there, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Like, you know how they take a break from 12
Oh,
to 1?
siestas. Yes. I don't know what the hell they're doing over there.
Siesta time, man.
But that's what's going on right now, Joseph. This is the reason we're selling off. We're selling off really aggressively as a result of this headline right now. It touches everything, guys. Think about this. I mean, NVIDIA is just so connected into all other aspects of the market right now. And even if it isn't, the traders will take advantage of the selling to push the market down. And NVIDIA now negative 0.5% on the day. Most of the Mag 7 are actually negative, with the exception of Google. Google having a fantastic day as a result of the I.O. event that we brought you live here on the midday show. Adair covered that brilliantly yesterday, giving us the play-by-play as to all the new releases that were coming out there. Sundar Pichai and crew giving the keynote there. So that is what's happening in the market right now. An aggressive sell as a result of the Trump administration official going on Bloomberg and saying that they are going to uphold the chip restrictions into China, and the market didn't like that one bit, Joseph. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. We'll report to you guys as things develop. The more information we get, obviously, we're going to be passing that on to you. So right now, it's just as much as I told you guys. It's this headline. It's a Bloomberg specific article that we've gotten. I believe the Trump administration official, this Krishnan man, he was on Bloomberg television when the statements were made. So that is the situation.
A lot of people are saying the bond auction as well too. Bond auction, yeah.
Was it not well received?
Yeah,
let's find out. Let's find out what it was.
Bond auction, not well received.
Yeah, and that's going to be a problem, Joseph, and I'll explain why. So one of the biggest bond holders of U.S. Treasuries is Japan.
Yep.
And what they're doing, the Bank of Japan just boosted the rate a little bit there. Yep. So all of a sudden, they can sell their U.S. Treasuries, domesticate that money, bring it home, and get a bit of a higher yield. What happens when you sell bonds? Yields go up. They're inversely related. The yield goes up when the price goes down. Price goes up when the yield goes down. So all of a sudden, they're selling U.S. Treasuries. They're less attractive because they're getting higher interest rates at home. So that is an issue. And we've been talking about the bond market being an issue in more than one way. Obviously, it's weighing heavily on American debt payments, right? And it has other ramifications as well. I'm just loading up my app right now to see how the bond auction was received. I just got to watch a commercial here, Joseph.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I don't pay for the full version. All right, here we go. Let's see, where's this bond auction at?
Are you tapped into Unity there? Did you hear what
I am, no, but I didn't hear anybody.
Okay, just let us both know when that happens. All right, guys, give us 1 second here. E-Signal, new traders, listen up. First month free, that's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to Elite, analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable real-time data, global markets at your fingertips, all in one platform. Don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading. Scan the QR code or check the link in the description. Talk to us about the bonds here.
Yeah, I can't really find it here. Adara, was it the 20-year auction?
Yes, it was the 20-year.
It was a 20-year.
It was the 20-year.
So that's slated to be at 2 o'clock, guys. I don't know why it's showing me here 2 o'clock unless the time is wrong. It was 1 o'clock. Everybody's saying maybe because this thing is on Central Time. I don't have the results of the auction. I'll just bring it to you guys. Full disclosure. So the auction was for what? The TLT? Was it
the 20-year? Yeah.
Calendar.
Yeah.
It was 20-year bond auction. So it's TLT. So let's go ahead and see if I can find anything on the TLT over here. 52-week lows. The TLT is at 52-week lows. Okay. All right, so here's what the article about the auction said. So Treasury's 20-year bond auction watched for demand indications. Let's load that up so we can see what the expectations were. Now, this is not the result. This is what the market was expecting, given as evidenced by the time of this article. As 16 billion 20-year Treasury bond auction scheduled for one is being watched as a gauge for demand for U.S. government debt amid rising fiscal concerns. Fears that spending in Washington is growing amid dimming appetite for U.S. debt fueled a bond sell-off this week. Deutsche Bank economists write that the 20-year yields have risen 17 basis points from the previous month to near 5% in the last month's auction. End user demand fell from 283% from 91.2 in the previous month. Deutsche Bank says, meanwhile, the iShares 20-year Treasury bond ETF fell 0.7% on its pace for the lowest close since 2023. Adara, what more can you tell us?
Yeah, I got the bonds. I think I mentioned that a couple minutes after the auction came out. But yeah, either way, I think the reaction was a bit delayed. I do want to talk about Boeing here, though. An Air Force spokesperson from the U.S. is saying that the U.S. Air Force is preparing to award a contract to modify a Boeing 747 aircraft for executive airlift. So just something to keep an eye on here. BA. Also, I'm seeing this headline. CNBC just published this, so these comments might be a bit older, but keep an eye on AMZN. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy saying that tariffs apparently have not impacted consumer spending that he can see as of yet. So AMZN talking about resilient consumers. Back to you.
Dara, for that. All right, Brendo's sending me the result of the 20-year auction. 5.047, the high yield versus 5.035. 1.2 basis points tail. Bid to cover ratio of 2.46. U.S. was selling, as I showed in the article, 16 billion. Awards at 41.02% of bids at high. Primary dealer takes 16.91%, direct 14.07%, and indirect 69.02%. Thank you for that, Brendo. Yeah, so needless to say, a couple of headlines coming in there quite aggressively at the same time, whether it was auction related or the NVIDIA news. It was not well received by the market, as you can obviously see there. So, yeah, as things develop, we'll keep you guys apprised. All right, my MLGO trade that I've been holding for a hot minute, it's probably time to take some profits on this one because it's been hard to break that top end of the range. But MLGO just looks like it's bull flagging. With a clear area of support at $1.47, I never got stopped out, but I didn't also get printed to the high side at 55s. That is the high of the day. I'm setting up there at the high of the day as well as above the high of the day in the 60s. So we're going to keep an eye out on that as the afternoon develops here, Joseph. I think the big boys on the closing show are going to have one hell of a close there as we go into power hour.
Yeah,
see how that is.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I agree on that one. You've seen that volatility step into the market on the 20-year, guys. We thought it was something else, but no, it was bigger. And there you go. I just mentioned it. All it needed was that spark to fuel the fire to the downside, and here we go, continuing to just kind of pull back. We're taking a breath right now, which is a positive sign, but it's not something that you'd want to see. You'd want to see some indecision print, some isolated volume. But what happened here is, guys, is that the volume to the downside really, really picked up. I mean, why is it moving Bitcoin like that? I'm not sure, but all we can do is just focus on this and see, bring you guys the coverage and see what the market is telling us. I mean, Google's holding up relatively well. It says, yeah, never mind with that bond, the 20-year. I'm just going to do my own things and not move in correlation with the overall market there, Sharif. So Google looking really, really good, continuing to climb. I did talk about some high levels of open interest in that 175 area, and now we've pulled back from that 173. We're holding VWAP relatively well, but there might be an additional leg to the downside. But the strength signaled here in Google. You want to stick to the strong names if you're looking for those longs. Can the market recover and gain some of this ground that it just previously lost? I think so, right? But we got to be patient to wait and see. There's not some there's no positive news right now for NVDA, but I mean, with the Gulf deals, I still believe that we're going to appreciate it. We're just overbought in the short term, in my opinion. We climbed too high, too fast. So now we're getting that breath. I wouldn't be surprised to see if these dips got bought up, Sharif.
Yeah, man. Look at the chat. Love it. There we go. Sorry. All right, guys, Bitcoin selling off aggressively here with the overall market. We're down into 107,000, Joseph. I got a wick here that's telling me the high is 110,467. Are you getting that as well? Are there dark pools on Bitcoin?
I don't know. Sometimes they display themselves on.
I don't know what these wicks are because they show
what does that tell you there?
110,467. What are you guys seeing as your all-time high? And don't give me the trading view number. Give me something different there. I'm seeing 110,467.25. While we never saw it break 110,000, I'm talking about that wick. The high I see there is 109 and change. So let me know what you guys see on your end there. Maybe did break 110,000. I have no idea. On the blockchain, Joseph, Sharif, would the purchases that Saudi is making out of NVIDIA chips offset the China losses? I think that's what the idea was. It's not just Saudi, guys. Saudi only bought like 15,000. It's really the UAE here that's buying the most of these guys. They're buying hundreds of thousands. Saudi's only buying 15.
No, I think that
the first order is 15,000.
Is that 18,000? I thought
18,
it was
maybe.
18,
yeah. Sorry.
I thought that was the first shipment, right? But then it's also like another 100,000.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
100%. It's like $1 million a year for the next couple of years. So they're going to be continuously shipping in that stuff. So it's just not 18,000. There's more on.
There's more coming.
They're starting with 18,000 of the Blackwell. For the,
but I think we're starting with hundreds of thousands with the UAE.
Yeah. It's large. It's millions of chips. It's millions of chips that are going to be shipped over there over an extended period of time.
All right, guys. Here's what you guys are saying. Everybody's saying 109. So let's see what the different numbers are. Okay. So 109,988, 109,845. Rajesh has 110,500. Peter Williams got 109,607. Dewey, 109,845. So it looks like we're all in and around that area with only one of you guys saying that it breached 110,000. So if that's likely the case, then yeah, it probably didn't breach 110,000. Thank you guys for verifying that. I do appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, great look. And we'll see if Bitcoin can run independently. Like I was telling Brendo off camera yesterday, I'm like, if I wanted to buy the Qs, I would have just bought the Qs. I don't buy Bitcoin so that it can move with the Nasdaq. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that.
That's my take with MSTR too, right? Like I know a lot of people like trading MSTR. For me, if I want Bitcoin exposure, I'm going to the direct underlying. So
there you go. Pro Day Trader Key 109,565 from CoinGecko. All right. So it looks like we all have basically the same thing, with this upper wick just probably being a bit of a bamboozler there. So we'll keep tabs on that. Guys, still involved in this MLGO trade, looking for that bull flag breakout. I did cut my LTRY trade as it came close to my entry level there, but it is now below the volume weighted average price on lottery.com. LTRY was over 100% up on the day, now just above that 52% area. But MRM continues to be in play. Where's my MRM trade at? There it is. So I did stop out for the last remaining amount on this after getting some beak wetters there, but right back above the volume weighted average price. Is it time to go long here on MRM? If I do, I'll have to give it to prior bar low, which is 66s. So that's risking about, I don't know, 3 pennies or so. MLGO just took out highs. Here we go. Let's have a look there. There it is. Now we take out a couple of beak wetters there on MLGO. So we get that high of the day break, $1.55, trading at $1.56. But it's really MRM that I want to work my way into. I've already built the position in MLGO. Certainly interested in that MRM trade if we're able to get it here. Just kind of concerned that it's trading below the 10 and the 20 exponential on the 5. I don't mind waiting for that clearance of $1.80. Yeah, I don't know if the good times are over for MRM. I might just leave that one for the moment until we can get back above that 10 exponential. But look at MLGO go. Now the breakout is on. 56s got taken out. 57s now. Can we take out 57s? I'm waiting in the high 50s. Here we go. 57 size getting eaten up. 58 now. MLGO is on one. So finally get the breakout, the top end break. We got to take out all these sell orders, Joseph, and then we got to get to 9s. And we got a cross for me to get the print. So up 25, a little bit less % on the day. We'll keep an eye out on this one. Darren saying 109,866.
Yeah.
Well, essentially,
Yeah, I like what KK was saying in the chat, though. There's a lot of disparity in the price. Like, we're getting a lot of different prices around here, which I do find slightly odd. But
I don't get that. It's just,
right? Why is there so many
Maybe because of the decentralized nature of it?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, everything's...
But, I mean, we're still relatively in the same ballpark, though, right? So you got to just look at it like that, guys. If we can pull up my screen here, I'm now officially all out of IBIT. I mean, there you go. We were trading in this name since we were in this name since 9/31 to be exact, and then we got majority of it out. I got stopped at 1% literally there. So I mean 62.48. A whole day of trading just have evaporated in a span of about a half an hour or so. Yeah, it happens like that. It's an absolute rug pull. For those who are just tuning in, 20-year, and there's also some other news as well too. We had Apple headlines. One of the engineers is working with, former engineers, I should say, is working with Sam Altman now. NVDA still in some troubles with China via their chips. And then we have the 20-year as well, two guys that now sent the market to kind of in disarray. So it is what it is. We were all excited. I seen somebody in the chat mention, yeah, I mean, when earlier in the day it is now, everyone's that excited. Be prepared to take some profits and watch out for the bond auctions as well too. I seen that earlier before we were reporting on it too. They said the 20-year would not allow the market to go any higher, and we see that displayed within today's price action, Sharif.
All right, MLGO knocking the door 59s. That's where I'm waiting. That is the high of the day right now. I can flatten out, take it at the mid print, but I'm going to pack my patience, see if we can get that 59. We're adding size. So one thing I try to gauge is, are we taking off size off the level 2, or are we adding? We just dropped down to 90 on ARB and ARCX, and now we're back up into 120. So it looks like the shorts are piling on, or the sell orders are coming in quite aggressively. So we'll keep an eye out on this one. I'm just going to take it out here, and we'll take it out at the mid print. Now, if MLGO comes back into 155, you can bet your bottom dollar I'll be picking it up there, given that it acted as such a persistent and consistent level of resistance, at least on the way up. So if it acted that way on the way up, maybe, just maybe, it might act as support on the way down. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on now. There's not many different names that are moving well in small cap gap or world. The market had a way, or the news in the market had a way of kind of tanking these to the downside. None of them really setting up in a way that I like. Let's bring in the side chart and have a look, because aside from MLGO, I'm kind of just displeased with all of them. There's LTRY below VWAP, MRM as well, kind of putting in lower lows and lower highs. MLGO is the only one trading at highs. WRD has a very clear lower low, lower high pattern, a bit of a downward channel there. ARQQ was a VWAP and strictly VWAP trade for me. It lost it, and then some, trading below 27 now. KIDZ also lost VWAP after holding it a couple of times. Big Bear AI also lost the volume weighted average price, in fact, using VWAP now as resistance. WOLF really setting up not too bad, despite the fact that it's down 61% on the day. It is a mean reversion trade off the filing of the Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So the idea here is to look for the ones that are actually making higher highs and higher lows, and there's very few, Joseph, that are actually doing that at the moment. So I will stay clear of any of these small cap gappers until one does set up, or if not. Obviously, there's only a few minutes left on the show. So if you guys have anything that you want Joseph and Ari to cover, tag us. Let us know. MLGO just took out the highs, Joseph, at $1.61. This one doesn't know what a sell-off is, baby. It is on one now. It's taking out the highs as we speak. Micro Algo is the name of the company. Good look there. West, y'all. Check out DFDV. Let's have a look at DFDV. Let's bring in the Tri-State side chart over here. DFDV. There we go. What do we got? Oh, that's a daily. Oh, that's not a bad breakout there. Consistent higher high, higher low pattern. So a bit of a sideways day today for DFDV. What is this? DeFi Development. Provides AI-powered online platform that connects with commercial real estate industry. Cool. A bit of a consolidative day. The volume-weighted average price, which is the white line on my chart there, kind of looks like the line of best fit. But that is kind of not doing this one service. If we look at the half an hour on this one, it's fantastic. Look, higher highs and higher lows. But today, a bit of a consolidative day. I would say play this as a range, West, y'all, with maybe, you know, that $28 area low. for some resistance at about 33-ish to the high side there. Otherwise, I don't get involved in this one, Joseph.
Yeah, all right. Good look there, brother. I mean, here we go. So let's pull up NVDA from a daily standpoint, guys, and kind of just break down some technicals here. So you can see that we've established this consolidation range here, and then all it needed was just a little catalyst in the overall market and in itself in order to just reject this range. I mentioned that we're up 27% off of these lows. You get a pullback into the mid-120s. In my opinion, that's healthy, and that's exactly what we want to see. We just don't want to go parabolic all the time because we've seen what happened in the likes of Meta when you have those types of scenarios, right? Look how much fun everybody was having when Meta was on that 16-day winning streak, whatever it was, and then boom, look how aggressive it was to the downside. So when we see these moves and these pullbacks, it's actually healthy. And still, instead of us being like, oh, how scary everything is, zoom out and look at the grand scheme of things, all right? We've now climbed 30%, 20 to 30% off of those lows, and we just needed something in order for us to pull back, right? We don't want to just go in a straight line higher because in the likes of Meta, you see what happens after that, all right? So a pullback here, I'm cool with. It's going to give you an opportunity to buy more shares, and that's exactly what I'm looking to do here in NVDA. Could you have trimmed some? Yes. We're still not too far off of where we were just sitting. It's good to lock in some profits. If there is some more potential downside, now you're sitting on some dry powder, and it's going to give you the ability to get in some of these names over the past month or so that we've seen start to really climb off of the lows, all right? So for me, it's not panic mode just yet. Can there be some more downside? Absolutely. But I'd be happy to see that because in the long run, I think more deals are going to be made, and there's going to be some upside to these underlying assets here, guys. So that is Meta and NVDA. I'm all out of Bitcoin. I mean, we rejected pretty aggressively here. We punched through those all-time highs on IBIT, and I got relatively close there on Bitcoin, and then rejected aggressively. I was expecting to see that. Let me just give me my analysis. I mean, I'll take it for how it is. I'm not going to complain on that front. What did I just do there now? All right. So, I mean, we rejected pretty aggressively. But from this consolidation zone, I would have rather have seen a pullback, retest this level into the 95s, whatever it may be, and then make that move higher. That way we would have absorbed more liquidity and there wouldn't be as much defense running into those all-time highs like we're experiencing right now, all right? So just be patient. Don't get too worried. Obviously, if we reject heavy and head into some lower 80s, then it's like, oh, okay, maybe we should have took some more off. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Tomorrow is going to be a new day, even though we still have 2 hours left in the session. Just be patient and wait and see what happens from that standpoint.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Options question.
Yeah.
CoreWeave.
CoreWeave.
So if I buy a longer dated put,
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's just say, well, it's showing me June 20th. Let's go a little bit farther. Let's just go July 18th, okay?
Okay.
July 18th. CoreWeave, I want to get a put.
Yeah.
Where is it trading at right now? It's trading at like, no, 1 sec. Let me just find out what it's trading at. It's right now, Joseph, CoreWeave, geez, 104.75, all right? So let's go options, 104.75. So say I buy a $75 call, or a put, excuse me, on that.
Yeah.
All right?
Out the money, yeah.
So it's out the money, obviously.
Yeah.
So the premium will be a little bit lower, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there. Now, say I want to close that ahead of the expiration date of July 18th.
Which you would want to do.
So let me ask you a couple of questions. So now, do I make more money if I close it earlier or later, or is that dependent on the price action?
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, no, it depends on a lot of factors here, Sharif. So when you're looking at a July, right, so you got about a month and a half or so until the expiration.
Okay.
All right, so you have a couple of things you need to worry about. One, you're buying a strike price that's essentially, we'll call it 100 flat. That's you're looking for up a 25% downside move, right? So in order for that, you're going to need the time, okay? So one thing that with a near dated like that, July, time is not working in your favor.
Okay.
But you can also profit extremely well. So, okay, let me take a step back. 2 weeks before expiration is when theta really starts to pick up.
2 weeks, okay.
2 weeks is when it's really going to start to pick up. A week is when it really picks up. And if the price hasn't accelerated to the downside, you will lose value on that contract just due to time in itself.
Because it's almost at the expiration date. It's not close
and
to the price.
And it's not at the money, right? So what essentially you're trying to build the thesis in here is saying you want to catch what you want to catch is time value, right? Because the chances of it being intrinsically valuable, which is appreciation in the underlying asset, whether to the downside, you need it to happen relatively quick, okay? So I don't want to complicate things, even though I may have already. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a quick acceleration to the downside.
So then that July 18th date, that's actually kind of close.
It's close.
It's close.
But you can also, if it moves to the downside rapidly, you can just gain straight up time value in the contracts. And I think that's what you're kind of aiming at here, right? So it would only be extrinsically valuable right now until you're south of 75, where it gains extrinsic in intrinsic value.
Okay, so under what situation would it be advantageous for me to get a closer dated put, the expiration being closer dated, as opposed to a farther dated one? What is the advantage of me to get a
closer dated one? Is that
so say if I was looking at July 18th, what if I was looking at June 20th? What would be the advantage of that?
There would actually almost be no advantage other than the fact that you would need it to, it depends how rapid the decline in the underlying asset is, right? So then you can gain time value relatively quicker maybe, but again, you don't have that much time working in your favor when you do that, right?
All right.
So I get what you're trying to look at. For me, I would go maybe slightly. So if you believe that you can head more towards 75, we're trading at 104 right now. My suggestion to you would be like buy a $95 put. Buy the 95 straight. It's not that far, right? And then if it does decide to trade south of 95, you've now gained the intrinsic and the extrinsic value of the contract.
And so then if it drops below that 95, before
now you're gaining intrinsic value.
So now it's in the money.
Now it's in the money.
The premium goes, or the value of it goes up.
Yeah, the premium will go up of that contract, and you have time value as well. So you're gaining both of the intrinsic, the time value, and the value of the depreciation of the.
That's fantastic, bro. And I think if I had that question, there's probably a lot of people that have that question as well. And a lot of people are commenting, and thank you guys for the comment. I'm going to read these after we're off the show. It is 2 o'clock. Obviously, guys, before we send you off, a couple of major headlines today. NVIDIA chip restrictions really pushing this market down. Looks like the Trump administration wants to continue with that. Also, we got a bit of a weaker bond auction there for the 20-year bond. It was not well received. We'll cover more on that. And then Apple as well, one of their developers, or their former, one of the chief developers of the iPhone, looking at working with OpenAI to move away from screen-based devices. That's obviously not very good for the iPhone, very dependent company there. So as we leave you guys, I want to let you know, trade carefully, and the market goes up, the market goes down, and you, as day traders and as swing traders, you can make money both ways. So make sure to keep that idea in mind, and Adair is telling everybody to get it. Send them off, baby.
So get it off. I mean, yeah, fantastic stuff, guys. I mean, I was literally talking about it earlier in the show. We can have a great time, and just like that, things can flick on a switch. Prime time example. Have those stops in place. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the ride while it lasts, because sometimes it's only here for a good time, as my guy Sharif would like to say, but not necessarily a long time, guys. Dang.
Welcome, everybody. So how about that discussion about trading with stops or not trading with stops all week long?
You don't want to not have a stop today.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because here's the